Wait, what the? Oh,
What you do? Wait, are we live?
yeah, we're live, man. We're
Oh, but I did
live.
not see the
We are
countdown.
live.
What's up, everybody? What's up? What's up? Hello, hello, hello. What's up? What's up? What's up? I did not see the countdown though. Dang! Welcome to another episode of Xbox International Podcast. We are now in flight. Who gives a damn what flight we're on? Because Sourblow has messed that up. Are we actually in flight 87 or flight
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
97?
I fixed it.
Oh,
Fixed.
you fixed it?
87. 87.
Finally, he fixed it. Finally, finally. So now we know we are in flight number 87. Let's go. Oh,
What
man,
do you
getting
mean,
go.
finally? We were only wrong like for one or two episodes.
We were wrong for like 3 episodes. What are you talking about, man? It's
No,
been
not
such a long
true.
time since it got fixed, man. What are you talking about? What are you talking
Not
about?
true at all.
What do you mean not true? Not true at all. Guys, if I hear wrong or something skips, I mean, I had painters at home. They messed up my internet. So I had to, yeah, you know what I had to do because, yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. But either way, though, let's start this show. We got a lot of things to talk about. Sour blow, Mr. Lionel Richie with that cheap ass Celtics hat. How are you doing today, sir?
Well, I'm doing well. Super excited. New day, new season. Celtics champion. You know.
Sa-
Well, no, excited to be with you guys. I've been sick over past few days, but uh,
No.
started feeling way better. So hopefully, um, we have a fun episode.
Oh man, that's awesome. That's awesome. Sour blow, I'm glad you're with us tonight, man. I'm glad you're feeling better. You can chill with us because hey man, that was a bit scary you had on Sunday when you did that thing, the test, and it came out positive, man. I'm just happy that you're here with us, hanging out, chilling for the fun because tonight we're gonna have a lot of fun, especially since at 8 p.m. Mr. Xbox Chatter Day, Miles Dompier is going to join us. It's gonna be one heck of a crazy episode. Mr. Plume, how are you doing today, sir? And how's that baseball going? How's everything with your life going, man? You got a lot of stuff in that background going on. Same with me, man. We got a huge mess. Not like me though, because I got
No, he
underwear.
has a very well organized mess.
What are you talking about? What?
You
Wait.
got a crap back there.
What? You're making fun of my crap, man. What? Who's gonna make fun of my stuff, man? You see what kind of friends I have, guys. You see what kind of friends I have. So, anyways, Plume, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. Baseball is over now. We lost. We actually finished first during the season, lost in the first round of the playoffs, and as usual, the
Oh,
Dominicans won the league. So, not surprising on that one because they're the best at the sport. So, that's done though. Now we're heading into winter, getting ready to hibernate as we're going to get snow in a couple of weeks. But yeah, other than that, it's been busy. I've been moving, as you guys can see. I actually have a background now that I just threw a bunch of stuff on the shelf. There's probably like some. I don't. There's like some screws back there. Anyways,
see
it'll
that
get better
needler
as
back
we go.
there.
Oh, yeah. This thing
Yeah.
has been in a box for months. I've been waiting to take it out, so I'm happy it's there.
What?
Um,
What's in the box?
Oh
Needler, you
my
can't see
god,
it.
the needler. It was in
Oh,
the
the needler.
box.
Oh, nice, nice, nice. Can I actually shoot though? I need one of those here.
It can. It can. Unfortunately, the battery on it right now is dead, but it can actually shoot. It has like a little nerf in it. It's really cool. You'd love it. You'd love it, Louis.
Oh man, I would have a lot of fun with that. I would. But anyways, happy that you are here with us. Also, Plume, man, it's been a while since you're hanging out with us. And man, I like your hat, man. You know, Sal, we need to take that for we need to get Plume's that whoever's doing the hat for him because look, it says Plume Network on top. You see, that's way more better than that damn Celtics hat, man. Seriously,
That is a cool hat. It's a
that is a cool
pretty
hat,
cool
man. But we need to get an XBI hat like that. Yeah, we need a model. Yeah. But anyway, Sourblow, what have you been playing, sir?
I've been playing Starfield. I'm like probably like 170 hours in.
You lucky man.
I'm close to beating it, but I don't know. I just currently I'm trying to level up a little bit to put more skills into like flight, and I've played a little bit of Halo. I actually played a little bit before this. Before I started, I played a few matches with Elvio and Joel. I don't know if you probably know Joel too. So yeah, that Needler. Now, since we were talking about Needler, that Needler is broken. Like right now, like you get the
The
Needler, it's
the
like
white one, the
it's
powered up one
nasty. Yeah,
that locks on. Oh man, Yeah, it's incredible. It's when you see like more than one guy in the screen, you get like double and triple kills right away with it so easily.
Yeah, yeah.
Pretty awesome.
Sad thing is, guys, I do not know what y'all talking about meters and stuff like that because me, I just haven't been playing games. I actually logged on to play a game yesterday for a little while because I have everything unplugged. I don't have my home theater plugged in, so when I hear that little speakers cranking up, with that, it's just TV speakers just sound horrible.
Oh, you know what other game I've been playing?
What up?
A little bit.
What?
Bramble of the Mountain King, something like that.
Brambo?
Brambler, the Mountain King, something like that.
Something like that?
It's like this little like, it's like a little kid. You probably seen it. It's on Game Pass. It's like a little kid. He's trying to save his sister, and they're like really shrunk. They like shrunk down, and it's like very creepy and all that.
It's like really creepy? Really? I gotta try that game since it's creepy because creepy games are for me, man. Creepy games are for me. I gotta hop into that. But is it scary though, or is it not? Oh, you don't play scary games though. That's the thing. So
It is a little bit creepy. Yeah, I'm playing it.
Mm,
I play some. It depends.
depends. Yeah, it depends on how much it doesn't scare you because you're always scared of stuff, man. Scared of stuff. How about you, Big Plume? Besides by playing, moving in, what have you been playing, sir?
Yeah, it's been tough for me to play a lot of games in the last couple of weeks, but I've been jumping into just stuff I can quickly play through, like playing a bit of Halo. I know I haven't invited you guys, but my time when I jump in there, it's like a match or two, and then I got to get off. I've been playing. I played a Starfield. I finished the main campaign, but I definitely want to continue to go and do a bunch of stuff in there and some Mortal Kombat. And then yeah, that's pretty much it. Just whenever I can jump in, playing some quick hitters that allow me to just sit down and complete something.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome, man. That is awesome. So nobody cares how I've been, or
No,
wait a minute, wait a minute.
You didn't let
Crazy
him
Louie,
finish.
Crazy Louie, how you been? Oh, I've been doing good. I mean, don't y'all miss me? Yeah, Crazy. We have not seen you in a week. Oh, I miss y'all
You
too.
you
Seriously.
didn't let him finish.
Oh, okay.
He was just about to ask
I
you,
was
right?
just
Flo?
gonna ask you. I was gonna
Really?
say I can see you've really got your room all set up and it looks great. Those boxes back there, it's
So,
just you really done a lot of work over the. I haven't been here for a couple of weeks, but it really looks like you've done a lot. So
well, all I did was the color. I got the TV. I got the TV set up. The Xbox put in. The PlayStation has RAID on it, which we will talk about it later. And yeah, that's about it. Yeah, boxes everywhere. I got wires here, which got to throw a lot of stuff around to fix this room up. It's gonna take me a while because damn it, I bought these things. I don't know why, but this wall is hard. I bought these like cute things. I don't know. I try to hit it on the wall, and man, they just don't stick. I don't know why. And I also bought these other ones, like, okay, these will work. I don't even know where the hell they are. Oh, here they are. These little small things. I bought them to put them on the wall too, and it just does not stick. I keep hitting with the hammer. I'm like, man, I'm gonna break this wall. But hey, man, the wall is super hard, so I'm gonna have to get a drill. Can you imagine me with a drill drilling a hole? That'd be a
oh,
lot of fun. We should stream that, right, guys?
yes, absolutely,
Absolutely agree
absolutely.
with a drill. That would be one fun episode. But yeah, what I've been playing though, huh? Well, I played a little bit of COD last night, with John, TJ, and Becca. What's up, Becca? You're in the chat. Hope you're doing good. We played a little bit of COD. We actually did we win a couple? I think we won like 2 or 3 matches, and then yeah, because I don't know why I just couldn't sleep. My internet was having issues last night, but it actually got to work a little bit better. So yeah, I hopped in a bit, played, and then after that, I found my brother Vic the Click online. Him running around from Texas Chainsaw Massacre and all that stuff, man. And I don't know why, but I'm always getting killed. And Vic always leaves me behind to be killed. He's a mean guy. He's like, let's leave him there. Let's let him. He doesn't even help me out. Like, Louis, come follow me. No, nothing. He just leaves me there. And every time I start the game, like as soon as I do not know why, guys, but as soon as I come down that rope, seriously, just land on my feet and start running around doing what I gotta do. My God, I mean, I get killed in just like 5 seconds. Seriously, I don't even last like 10 seconds. It's hard for me to see that sign that says, oh, you survived for a minute. My ass. I mean, they're already chasing me with the chainsaw, killing me. It's crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. That's what I did last night. But anyways, let me jump real quick to the flight itinerary. Or Sourblow, you want to take the flight itinerary away, or you do, Plume, so I can get ready since our captain today, our handsome, sexy, beautiful captain, is out in a meeting and he cannot join us though. Yep.
All right, I'll say it real quick.
You say okay? All right, thanks, man. Thanks, man.
All right, so for the flight itinerary, we're all over the place. We do have a guest today. The guest is coming around 8. So we kind of had to change things around. So we're gonna cover some things with the guest, depending, what time he comes in. We also gonna cover some of the latest news. We got some PlayStation news. Apparently, some people are retiring. They keep retiring on that side. I don't know what's going on, but we also have the what is it? The disk drive. You got to be connected to the internet. We have some talk about Spider-Man and the bugs and all that. What's going on with that? I mean, he is a spider, so.
Louis already killed all the bugs on us.
Yeah, dude.
Oh yeah, true. So Lou was taking care of all that.
Yeah.
We're gonna be all over the place. I don't even know how this episode is gonna run, but since I've been sick, I didn't do all the notes. But Lou, you ready for the in-flight announcement?
Yes, I am, sir. I'm ready to go.
Oh my God, what is this?
Hey, man, you mentioned bugs, man. I had to put my gear on. And, man, what the hell? The wind in this mess is getting my eye. Okay, now I fixed it. All right, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen.
You look like
Like what?
you look almost like Tom Cruise. Top
Really?
Flight, yeah.
Ah.
Not really, but
Shit. You put my mojo right there, man. Here we go.
Can't even hear what you're saying, Louis.
Oh, what? Ladies and gentlemen, Scarlett has turned on the subscribe button. If you haven't already subscribed, please do so. Please store your seats and beverages next to your desk, underneath the seat, or in front of you. Please take your seat and fasten your seatbelt. And also make sure you have hit that notification bell. We gently remind you that smoking and drinking are not prohibited on this flight. However, throwing your only game out with a lot of bugs to be fixed by spraying raid on your PS5 is strictly prohibited. If you have any questions about your flight tonight, please don't hesitate to ask one of our flight panelists. Thank you, and back to you, Crazy Lou. Yes, back to me, baby. Let's go. Let's throw this thing back here. All right, let's see what. Oh, you want to play something? Oh, okay. We're good to go then. We're good to go. Anyway, let's say what's up to the chat. What's up? What's up? What's up? Hello, it's Timmy. What's up, Timmy? Let me go down the list. Talos, the man with the red. What's up, Talos? John, TJ, what's up, brother? Let me keep going down. Sanchez, Martinez Gaming. Hello, hello, hello. Yeah. G May B. Yeah, he gotta throw that rap album. What's up, G May B? El movimiento de la línea. He says sour. Who's the movimiento de la línea? That's a cool name. But anyways, let's keep going down the list. Rachy, what's up, Rachy? Oh, Jay Vargas. As soon as you put on that Celtics hat, man, Jay Vargas is in the house. What's up, Jay Vargas? How are you doing, sir? Oh,
yeah,
man.
Vargas is a Celtics fan now.
Nah, he ain't. Shut up. Oh, Lucas here, the awesome, the sweet, the killer in Call of Duty. RSJ fan 05. What's up, Becca? Happy to see you here. Oh, there's the man who leaves me hanging over there with Leatherface. Vic the Click. What's up, Vic? How you doing, brother? Man, he always leaves me hanging. Okay, let's keep going down the list. Oh, the man who knows how to use that Hawaiian like he's nothing. What's up, Bobby Rose Kenobi? How you doing, brother? Oh, man, who else is here? Is this me? My Laika de Bobies. What? What's up, me Laika de Bobies? Welcome. That's okay. That's new. Do Reaper, what's up, Do Reaper? How you doing, sir? Hey, I like that name. Me Laika B. Isn't that what's his name? Oh my God, I forgot his name. Dear Lord, Jar Jar. Is that Jar Jar? It sounds like Jar Jar. Yeah, from Star Wars. That's his name, right? Oh, el único cocho. I was about to say Chocho. Oh my God, what's up, único cocho? Oh, 4K, what's up, 4K? And guys, I guess you're ready to start the show. So, Sourblow, since you're coffee, you want me to take it away, or you want to handle it?
I got it.
All right, go for it, brother. Take it away.
All right. Well, that was a nice little rundown through the chat. Thank you everyone for the support. Let's start immediately. Let's talk about what's going on with. let's talk about the disk drive. So apparently the PS5 disk drive, it's required to be connected to the internet.
Hmm? Wait, what
Now,
internet dial-up?
yeah, in order to like to set it up. No, not that.
You have to
Not
wire
dial-up.
it in.
It's a
Yes.
wire.
Ethernet cable,
Oh, you know, it's not
phone
dial-up, man.
cable.
So
Man, I really miss that sound, man. I wish I had dial-up. But anyways, you going, Sour?
So I recently, I'm gonna go with Plume first because I know he has more information on this. He always has all the information. So Plume, I'm just gonna ask you directly: what is the reason for this? Do you know? Is it because they want to like monitor that you don't use like burnt CDs, like fake games, or is there like a reason for this?
What?
So I don't think there's a specific reason because the only way right now we know about it is because there was a leak of the PS5 Slim box, and on the back it said you will need to connect your disk drive to the internet to be able to use it. And I think that's only for the initial setup. So I'm guessing it's probably for pirating reasons, probably for security reasons. They just don't want anybody putting any disk drive attached to the PS5. So, and they're going to have to obviously recognize it through some whatever code or whatever they do once they do finally connect your console to the internet. So I'm guessing that's the main reason they want to do it, just keep you only being able to purchase the PS5 disk drive. And again, I think you're right, probably for like not burning games and all of
Yeah,
that stuff. So
pirating.
that's what it seems like, right? We don't actually know the full extent of it. This may be something that they can update out of having to do if a lot of people are upset about it. But yeah, in 10, 15, 20 years from now, if you have that PS5 disk drive and they shut off the servers for it, they may just all become useless. Looks like.
Yeah.
So, so wait a minute. So here's my question though, real quick. Then why the hell are you gonna make it connect to the internet? Because that's worthless. Because seriously, just use the digital. Don't buy the damn CD thing. I
I
mean,
Yeah.
I mean, if you have a bunch, the thing is like they're releasing these mid-gen slim consoles and PS5, there's so many physical discs out there. Somebody picking one up, they probably have a ton of PS5 physical discs with them already, so they're gonna have to be able to they're gonna want to use them in one way or another, right? I thought when they first announced the PS5 Slim, the fact that they were adding the removable disc drive was one of the good moves for that console, but now we're hearing about it having to be online. It's kind of odd with how it's turning around. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
which
that's another thing too, right? They may just try to push as many people as possible to digital. That's what they want.
That's what everybody wants. Go digital, baby! Now here's the thing though, and damn it, they gotta lower the damn price on a digital copy because why is 70 if you're not paying for the damn CD anymore? But you know, that's how it is.
yeah, I just find it all hilarious because I was told the other day in a podcast that you know Xbox is the only one that just pushing all digital, and PlayStation's doing all this stuff, and and they actually use this console as an example, and now you got to connect it online, so it's kind of like you know it is what it is, I guess. Um, the other not so good news that we got from that side is apparently we got some people, more people retiring from Sony PlayStation. So David Jaffe was the first one to actually provide the news that what's her name? Hold on, I don't
Connie
even
Booth?
have the notes. Connie Booth, yeah. Thank you. Well, she was let go, and apparently many other of her her platform, her division left the PlayStation, whether it was like voluntarily or if they were also released. So we got a lot of changes happening in Sony, and I'm gonna go to you, Crazy, and I want you to tell me, initially, like what you thought of all of this and what you think is happening over there at Sony PlayStation.
What I think is happening? Oh, that's good, man. Sony's doing great. They selling really well. I mean, those PS5s are selling down, like crazy. And man, those numbers are always up and at them, and they're doing awesome. I mean, what's happening? Nothing's happening. I mean, they are releasing such great games, without any problems. I mean, look at that Spider-Man, man. I mean, who the hell loves to play a game with the headless Spider-Man? I mean, I would. That's freaking phenomenal, guys. That's freaking phenomenal. I mean, that is awesome. I mean, the headless Spider-Man. Wow, that's a great invention. Or a bodiless Spider-Man. I mean, that's awesome. That's awesome, man.
We're not there yet. We're not
Oh, we're
talking
not
about
there.
Spider-Man
Okay,
yet.
then let's go back to Sony and what's going on over there. I mean, wow, it's been one hectic week. I mean, a lot of things are going on.
Oh
People are
crap!
getting fired, supposed to be retiring, but that's the magic word. Retiring. Bull crap.
Everyone's retired.
Yeah, everybody's retiring. I mean, they're getting fired because supposedly there was an issue with factions, and they blamed on what was her name? I forgot her name. Oh my god, Bonnie. Was her name Bonnie? What was her name? Sorry, can you please repeat her name?
Um, Connie Booth, isn't it?
Connie. Yeah, they were blaming Connie for it, so they fired her because of things was going
Oh
on.
crap!
But either way, though, Jim Ryan was the one who pushed those live services. Now the thing is, we do not know if it's true that she actually got fired because it's supposedly a rumor. So yet we don't know yet. So is it going down the drain? Yes. Why is it going down the drain? Because at the end of the day, the way it's been handled, the way it's been going, and the way he's been pushing it is just not the right way Sony had to go. I mean, seriously, they just have a bunch of issues. They're not completing with their task as they did before. They not. It's basically like, oh, they had a program, and this guy jumped in and literally changed things around just to say, okay, let's go with this. Screw what you guys have been doing. Let's not go with that plan. Let's go with this plan. Let's put new things in here. But the thing is, were they ready to go with these new things? I mean, seriously, 12 service games, right? Were they ready for that? No, they weren't. Were their teams ready for that? No, they weren't. People say, oh, because of pandemic and stuff like that. Here's the thing, though. To change that around, it takes time. I mean, we saw what happened with Microsoft. We saw what happened, with Sea of Thieves, for example, right? When Sea of Thieves started, it was slow, but then it started becoming a banger. Same thing with Destiny. Destiny started, it was slow, till the Taken King came out, it became a banger. Same thing with Halo. Look at Halo. I mean, when did Halo come out? 2 years ago, right, Sour? Pretty much 2.5 years ago. What was it? 2021, right? At the end of 2021?
Yeah, 2021. I believe so.
2021, right? Halo came out in 2021, and look at it now. Now it's getting better, so it takes time, right? So in order for you to have those teams, it's going to take you a lot of time, especially since these teams, all they did was, single player games, great single player games, because man, they were fantastic. I mean, Last of Us was good. All those games were awesome. And you taking them out like this is just horrible. And just putting things like, okay, let's go this way. That's just crazy. That's just crazy. I mean, like I said, if I was Jimba, I would have said two or three, service games, see how we go, and leave these teams develop what they'd love to develop. Let's let them do what they would love to do. But yeah, this has caused a big issue. PlayStation is going for me, and what I'm seeing. I mean, the way David Jaffe is talking about it, it's going down the drain.
I mean, personally, I don't think they're going like out the drain, but definitely um they have like an identity crisis. Like it's almost like it seems like they don't know which direction they really want to go, and they have to fully commit like what they're going to do. Are they going to continue doing live service games? Then they have to commit with that. I guess the safe way would be, like you say, not do so many games as a service, do less. But if they fully want to go all in, then fully invest yourself. But if you're making all these changes so fast, I feel like that could come back to bite them. Um,
Exactly.
it's kind of like, I don't know. In a way, it's kind of like they want to go the Nintendo route, but at the same time, they want a little bit of what Xbox is doing, their strategy with the services. Like they need to kind of like formulate their plan and come up with a strategy that will get them back. Because one thing that we sure know is these games, they're more ambitious. they require more money. They require more developers, more resources. So in order to fund those games, they it seems they have noticed that they do need game as a service or services that could sustain those games. And they did get Bungie for that, but at the same time, these games require time. Like we seen games that have been released, like Crazy Lou said, like Sea of Thief. Sea of Thief released, and I'm sure at first that did not make Microsoft any money, but right now it's probably one of the games that are making them the most money. Besides, of course, the Minecraft and now Call of Duty and all that. But other than that, Sea of Thieves is bringing them a lot of money. But these games require time, require patience, and you gotta fully invest in them. If you don't invest in them, I don't think you can bring them to flow. Especially when it's a new IP, you're trying to bring in new gamers that they already play something else. Because most people that play like a live service game, that tend to like live service game, they already are playing one. So you gotta kind of like disconnect them from what they're playing right now.
All right. Can I mention a couple things that they came out for breaking news? This is from David Jaffe. So if you
No,
want me
you
to,
can't. You can't. No,
oh, you can. Okay, okay.
no
So
I'm kidding.
okay,
Go
I'm,
ahead.
I'm going to bed then. All right, here we go. Here's what this is breaking news. Postal posted this, confirmed by David Jaffe. Right. So we don't, like we said, we don't know if it's 100% real, but he has his connection. So yeah, he says Connie Booth was not let go. She did not retire. She was fired. Sean Layden was escorted out of the building when he was let go. Jim Ryan was convinced that gas was the future and told PlayStation first party studios to start making them. PlayStation studios were unhappy about this decision. The cancellation of factions made a lot of PlayStation studios upset, causing internal turmoil between that and the gas direction. Sony blamed it on Connie Booth and fired her. The vast majority of people who worked under Connie are gone, and it seems they left at the same time as she did. Angie Smets is awesome. The negative things to say about her. Apparently, Herman Holtz was in big favor of cutting all of the Japanese studios. So yeah, Jaffe's content wasn't a big fan of Herman. So that's crazy of all the stuff that's going on over there. That's crazy. I mean, this all news just pop up, and David Jaffe has been talking about it since when? Since Monday, and we basically do not know 100% if they are true. But if that's the truth, it seems like they are in trouble. And here's a question, guys. I mean, I don't know. I got a feeling. I got a really bad feeling about something. I don't know what you all think. If you could agree with me, right? Apple's making an announcement the 30th. Could you think that Apple could be scooping in and buying Sony,
Not on the 30th.
Yeah.
or announce it or something? Huh? You think that?
No.
Aren't they? They are announcing. They're emphasizing high-end gaming or something that they're going to be coming up and talking about. It's one of the things that I just read on the
Yeah.
30th.
It's probably gaming on mobile.
Gaming on mobile?
I mean, we've already seen their iPhone stuff where you're going to be playing AAA games on a phone. I think they're just going to try to expand that out because Mac in general is not a place where gamers go to, and they're probably seeing the pie that they're missing out on in terms of all the money that they can be making, and they're going to start transitioning people start thinking about Macs for AAA gaming going forward. But we'll see. I mean, I feel like Apple always promises these things, and it's just never really as good as they say when it comes to gaming specifically.
Yeah. I personally, I think we gotta get out of our head, at least for now, that Xbox is gonna end. Because Xbox is gonna close because 7% less hardware. So like, come on, like they're making more money than ever.
Yeah.
And Sony is not gonna close anytime soon because here's the thing with Sony, with PlayStation. PlayStation is Sony's biggest division. So if they were to like sell, they would probably sell everything. That's the first thing, and then. The other thing, I think Sony is a very like pride like company. I think the last selling will be like their last resort. Like if they see that there's no way they can really like come back, then they will look for that option. But I don't see them just, oh, things are going wrong, are not going well. We're just gonna sell, because we seen how arrogant they get when they have the league, and that shows me that they're like, you know, kind of like very pride of themselves. So I don't think they're just gonna sell right away.
Yeah.
I don't know what Plume thinks about that, and if you want to add anything.
Yeah, no, I think right now Sony's kind of like in a transitionary period. I mean, the reality is they're still selling and they're still doing very well. I mean, there's still crazy amount of PS5s being sold. There's still a ton of their first party games that gets sold every time they release it. It's not like they're in this place where they're doing bad, that they're losing money and all this type of stuff, right? They're still doing relatively well, but I think they are realizing the writing on the wall after the ABK deal closed, that like they need to transition how they do their gaming business. It can't be locking games to a console anymore. It can't be what it's been forever. I think they're just kind of in that transitionary period, and we're seeing the fallout of that, where some of the old guard is leaving, getting fired or let go, whatever you want to say. And I think we may see Sony kind of turn PlayStation more into what Xbox One wanted to be, which is, I think they're going to start trying to become that like full entertainment suite for people, and then they'll try to sell their subscription and their ecosystem that way, because they have all of those movies and their other entertainment IPs that they create, right? So I think that's what's happening. But I mean, that's my guess. But I don't think they're going to be selling off their gaming business anytime soon.
Yeah, because they do have, like you say, they have movies. They also have anime. I
Yeah,
mean, they have Crunchyroll, and they have what is it, Fundamation or Animation? What is
Funimation. Yeah.
Funimation?
Fundamation,
So,
Fundamation.
so they have that. So I feel that that could be their route. I always have said too. I know people don't like this idea, but for them, it's probably the smartest idea, and it's breaking their games into chapters, and like maybe like 10 hours chapters, and having like
Like
a
Hell
Telltale
no.
release,
games.
kind of like something like that, like where like you release a chapter like now, and then 3 months later you get the next chapter, and that way you can sustain people, staying in the ecosystem.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I think like as well with the whole Jim Ryan thing, I I don't think his decision to create games as a service and multiplayer games was the wrong decision. I just think he waited way too long when he took over. He probably took over in 2019 and saw how dominant PlayStation was, and he was just too slow to try to do anything else. And now they probably didn't expect Xbox to go out and buy Bethesda, buy ABK, and just
Yeah.
grow as big as they are and do so many consumer friendly things and be as competitive as they are. But now they're probably kicking themselves in the ass. They should have started their transition earlier.
Yeah, because if you look at the leaks, they didn't see Game Pass as a threat, but I
Yeah.
think that was like before all the acquisition. Like they didn't expect all of that. Now, Microsoft own all these studios, all these IPs, and to be honest, they're almost not dependent on like third party. Like once they get the ball rolling, like they could probably release a big game like every quarter, like they promise.
And we saw too from their financial results that like they release one major game that people are excited about, it just boosts Game Pass subscriptions insanely. So if they have
Yeah.
4 or 5 of those a year, it's gonna be very, very hard to stop Game Pass. It's gonna be extremely
Mm.
hard for Sony to
Yeah.
stop it.
One thing before crazy is I know he want to say something,
Mm.
but something that's been said. I think Colin Moriarty has said it, which is like, you know that Game Pass is not that it's not sustainable, but you can't like sustain it by releasing like big games. I think that Starfield is the example that you could have big games in Game Pass. And one thing that most people I see, they don't like, it's almost like they forget about it, is they still, even though these big games are going to come into Game Pass, they can still sell outside of Game Pass. They could, like, on console, on PC, and also the whole idea with selling the premium version with early access, that does get them, some extra money. Because if you look at Starfield itself, just on early access, on the premium edition, they almost probably made the money they spent on it just on that. So I
But
feel like that itself proves that, you could have big games on Game Pass.
here's my thing though, Sarah. This is why I brought that out. I talked about Apple and what's going on with Apple. That like I said, it kind of scares me, but in a good way. Of course, if they do purchase, it's going to be greater for us because it's going to be more competition at the end of the line. But what I was telling you that I'm pretty scared about is that, look, even G maybe said it right. G maybe put it in chat. Sony's in this worst financial condition than they were ready to be. A sale may be something they have to do sooner than later, right? He says that. And what worries me the most, he sees that, I see that, you all see that, right? What worries me the most is when Microsoft with Xbox One, right? We all saw what happened to them. We all went throughout those 5 or 6 years with that generation. Xbox was just not number one. Xbox was just not doing so well. Xbox had a bunch of problems. They did Game Pass. They shifted to the future, and now this generation started coming up, right? So Sony does not have that financial support as Xbox had it because Microsoft was pushing Xbox, but Sony does not have that financial. Um, is it financial support? No, those or they do not have the money to back PlayStation. They do not have it like Microsoft has it. Microsoft has all the money in the world. To give them any financial aids they need, but Sony does not have it. So here's the thing: or is it for? Are you guys seeing like? Okay, the question is, how will they come back after this? I mean, it's going to be hard for them to come back after such a big mess they've been having there lately. I mean, what can they do to come back? Because games take 6 years to make, 5 or 6 years. We just saw Spider-Man come out with all these bugs, right? And and what else is there? All we have is Wolverine. We don't have anything else. So how the hell is Sony gonna come back from this? Especially with Xbox buying ABK, which pretty much was their minefield. So how the hell can they come back from this? That is the question I'm asking.
I, I think I think that they can. I think that they will. We saw them come back from the PS3 when they launched the PS3 and how bad of a launch that was. I'm actually just looking now. Like apparently, don't take this as a fact because I haven't fact checked it or anything, but it says that the PS3 resulted in losses of $3.3 billion since the system's launch, and then they came back with the PS4 and absolutely destroyed it. And I don't think the PS5 is doing bad. I think they're actually probably doing decently with the amount of money they're making. Their operating income fell recently, I believe, in the last financial report, but they're still selling tons. And I think their year over year overall was up. So I don't think there's I don't think they're going to be in a place where they're scared of operating in gaming unless something even worse happens with their next report, right? If they come out and things continue to fall, but I don't know. I just don't think it's as bad as it seems right now.
Well, because I mean, we're seeing all these firings. We're seeing people leaving. PlayStation supposed to be retiring, right? And we don't know if is they're actually 100% true. But either way, though, you had Jim leave right in the middle, which of course we understand. It was not like, oh, he retired, now my ass. They asked him to leave because he was making a mess. That's the truth. I don't care about it. Chad, if you guys want to kill me for that, kill me. But hey, it's the truth. He was making a mess out of something. I'm sorry. Can't lie about that. They asked him to leave. And so you have the head of the project, right, leaving this right in the middle. It's just a bad thing. All the way, it's just a bad thing. So
Yeah.
now you have to get somebody to come in, get them to be trained to grab everything, and after this gen ends, basically he needs to grab the wheels or grab the handle, whatever it's called, I don't know, and he needs to guide it. It's gonna take him time. It won't be like, oh, he's here right now, we're going forward. No, it's gonna take him a lot of time. It's because I mean, we saw Phil. Phil grabbed Xbox around 2014, and look how long it took him for Xbox to go the way it had to go. I mean,
I
literally,
think wasn't it 2017?
No, he grabbed it like around 24, like close to 2015. It was close to that. But in order for him to pull back Xbox, he had to do like a couple quick moves, which that's all he could do. And then, like for this gen, look, like I said, look how long it took them to put Xbox that it could be in our mouths and talk about it every day and say, "Man, Xbox is great, it's doing awesome," which the fanboy said it isn't. But man, look how amazing it's doing. I mean, this year has been a freaking solid year for Xbox. It's been amazing, and Sony has just been taking hits and hits and hits and hits. And like I said, how the hell are they going to come back after this? I mean, you talk about the PlayStation 3, right? But here's the thing, though, PlayStation 3 had a bunch of games, crazy bunch of games. PlayStation 4 did too. This one is just
Yeah,
dead.
I
Yeah,
was gonna.
sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, oh, for sure, tons of games. I just mean like the launch of the PS3 was really bad, and it took them a long time to actually start like being successful in that generation against the 360. And they were able. One of the main reasons as well is they were able to sell everywhere around the world. They're more popular in Japan, and that helped them. This generation, I mean, the PS5 is still, I would say, overall more popular than Xbox, and they're selling console wise, of course, just specifically consoles, which is where they base their business off of, selling more than Xbox. So I think like PS3 was an example of a generation where Sony was weak from the start, and they were losing for a lot of that generation. This generation right now, it's like overall they're still very strong. They didn't have a weak start, even though this year's been a down year for them. So in like I see them having to transition their business, and if they don't transition their business in the next few years and being more kind of what Xbox does, then they'll be in big trouble. That's where things are going to get. They can't
Yeah,
go into the PS6 and have the same console exclusivity strategy. I don't think that's something that they can even think about.
yeah. I
Yeah.
was gonna add to that also. Um, they also need to start reviving some of those older IPs or creating, more new IPs. And you know, I feel like eventually, even though they're great IPs, but the usual suspects that we're seeing like lately, if you continue that trend only with that, that's only gonna hurt them in the long run. So I think they have great IPs that a lot of players, if they see them coming back, they're gonna be very excited. Um, I know you probably don't have all the studios to bring, all the IPs, but you can partner. You are the market leader still right now. So there's certain advantages and certain studios that will be willing to work with you.
Yep.
So I feel like that's something they got to take advantage of before things keep turning, because if things keeps turning the other way, then it's going to be harder and harder for them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think from a gamer's perspective, the PlayStation, I think Safo in the chat makes a really good point that Spider-Man is the new Madden football coming out every 2 years. Madden comes out every year, but the point is that like that's where PlayStation, and if you're a gamer on the PlayStation side, it's kind of disappointing, at least for me. They're just going to be focusing on the Spider-Man's, The Last of Us, God of War. The chances are they're going to dig deep into their back catalog now and give us anything different and unique, I think, is very, very low, especially with the cost to make these games. And they got it. If they're trying to make more money now, they have to get that return on investment. They're just going to be doing what sells, which is, I think, it's going to be kind of a boring couple of years from PlayStation.
Yeah, that's the sad part, man. I mean, it's gonna be pretty boring on their side because hey, we have not. And here's the funny thing, though, which we will talk later on about the Xbox showcase. I mean, guys, this showcase today was way better than theirs. Sad but true. It was like a 25-minute showcase, and it was way better than the last one they had. I mean, they show such cool stuff, and basically, one or two got on? Or was it one that got on us for Game Pass? But either way, though, it was better than the showcase. I mean, the showcase was a 25-minute showcase, and it was a lot of fun. And they just seem like they don't have nothing. Like nothing is there. I mean, we have not heard of Wolverine. What's going on with Wolverine? Because we know it's going to come out. And right now, I think it's a perfect time since we're talking about games. Why don't we move on right away about them that buggy mess with Spider-Man? My God, I mean, what happened to him? I mean, I understand that you guys did not have a first party studio to release this year, right? But why release this game in this condition? That's messed up. I'm sorry. I mean, they really messed up with that, especially after the hits they've been taking. pushing this just to say, "Oh, we released this game," and the funny part is that I'm gonna say it, and I'm gonna say I don't give a damn, and I'm gonna say it's gonna come out of my damn mouth. The press. Oh, it's a perfect 10. It's a perfect 9. This game is awesome. This game is fantastic. Oh my God, look at this game. Oh, dear Lord, it's freaking fantastic. Yet when Starfield came out, the person was like, "Oh, there's bugs in Starfield. Oh, Starfield's got bugs. There's nothing to do out there. Nothing to do this." But yet, you guys talk about Spider-Man like it was perfect, and it was a big ass mess. Big ass mess. I mean, it shows how much Sony's throwing that suitcase. I mean, that suitcase out with money for you guys because damn, you guys are sold with PlayStation. That's sad. I mean, call it down the middle. But dear Lord, releasing a game in this condition, that's just horrible. I'm sorry. Horrible. Inexcusable, like Safo is saying. Inexcusable. Quad, I mean, they I remember when the $70 price was out there, they were saying, "Oh, quality, that is for quality." But yet, where the hell's your damn quality, guys? What's wrong with y'all? What the hell is wrong with y'all? Sour, tell me something. Tell me about that Spider-Man game. I mean, when you saw that release, how did you feel about it? I mean, seeing how that game came out with all those bugs. I mean, like I was talking about, you got the headless Spider-Man running around, or the bodiless Spider-Man. I mean, that's just crazy. How do you feel about that?
Well, honest opinion, I did not play Spider-Man, so I can't really speak much. Um, there definitely has been bugs. I don't know how bad it's been because at the end of the day, with the whole console war things, that sometimes it could get exaggerated from one side or the other. So I really don't know what to think. But what I do know is it has bugs in some capacity. It did not came out perfect. However, I do see there is a bit of bias because when you see an Xbox game that has, like, for example, we have to bring it up, but Starfield was not a buggy mess, and what do people do? They looked for all the bugs they could find possible, and they try to say it was a buggy mess. They try to like justify why it was not a 90, which if it's not a 90 for you, it's fair, but it almost felt like when you read the reviews, like with Starfield, like they were like digging deep into finding things, and Spider-Man did not get that same treatment. But that's all I can say.
Oh, hey, let me before we continue. Sour, Mr. Dark is saying, "Let me in."
He got the link.
Pop in, Mr. Dark.
Pop in.
Oh man. But anyways, boom. Let's continue the show on the road. Tell me, brother, how did you feel when you saw this game release? Especially since Sony always says 70 is quality.
I
Shit.
mean, I'm I'm with Sour as well. I haven't played it yet. I played the first one. I played Miles. Loved them both. Going to end up playing Spider-Man 2 at some point. There definitely are bugs though. The thing, I don't know how widespread. I don't know how bad it is overall. If it's like something that ruins your experience, but I think in general there are bugs. I don't know. I think as well they're probably not so crazy that it does hurt your experience. But what was hilarious to me was the debate and the narrative that people were forcing these bugs, and that was the reason why they were showing up and why people were talking about them, which is just crazy because you would probably never really hear that narrative. As I mean, we saw Starfield come out. You didn't hear the narrative that people were forcing bugs on Starfield. Obviously, there are bugs in Starfield. We're in 2023. What game has released in the last couple of years that's been bug free? I can think of one on the top of my head, and that is Hi-Fi Rush. I can't think of a bug from Hi-Fi Rush
Oh,
that occurred.
I got
Um,
I got another one. Dead Island was another one that came out pretty much
Nice.
without bugs.
Yeah,
I
but
haven't
that
played it.
island is kind of cheating because that was in development forever.
Yeah, I don't know. I never played that line, but it's just obviously there are bugs. Um, I lost my train of thought. What was I talking about? Should they have delayed it? I don't know. I mean, they needed to get something out, so they couldn't have delayed it too much later. Maybe if they delayed it a couple more weeks. But one thing we're hearing about was, for some reason, the day zero or day one patch was something that made bugs worse. I think it was ACG who, in his review, I don't think he mentioned anything really about bugs, but then he put out a tweet that after they did the day 1 patch or the day 0 patch, he was experiencing a bunch of different bugs. So obviously there is something going on there with the game itself. But I don't know. Is it that widespread and that terrible? No, but there are bugs, and yeah, you got to give the same treatment. The other thing that's hilarious to me is people comparing Spider-Man 2 to Starfield. It's like there's such completely different games. It's like you have a small scope in terms of Spider-Man 2, a 20-hour experience, right? And there's compared to Starfield, where there's just so many different mechanics and so many things going on in that game. It's so much bigger. The scope is much larger. There's probably much harder to catch every single bug in Starfield than it is in Spider-Man 2. Anyways, that's just a aside. But yeah.
Man, that's crazy. That's crazy. I mean, when I saw everybody just posting, because hey, I'll be honest with you, a lot of people, like for example, they put Spider-Man beneath the subway, or they grab the bicycle trying to smash it against the car. I mean, okay, they're just trying. I mean, I was basically making fun of that. I was like, okay, if you guys want like that reality, I mean, Spider-Man swings across buildings. I mean, if he smacks a building, he's gonna die. If you want this game to be such as real as you guys want it to be, but for example, like the bodiless Spider-Man, or when you're swinging and you're landing to or doing a mission, like all of a sudden the people just gets like they freeze, or a gun is hanging up there, the mission just freezes and stuff like that. Now that's a bug. That's buggy issues. Oh, look who's here! Oh my God! It's been such a long time. Hello, hello,
What?
hello, Mr. Dark, and welcome back.
Can you hear me?
brother. How you doing?
Can you guys hear me?
Man, how you
Can you-
doing, sir?
We can hear you. Oh,
You can hear me?
Yes.
Well,
yes,
I'm not silent fraud, but Lou, what are you selling in your Amazon warehouse in the back?
Oh,
Looks like you're selling a
myself.
bed
Well,
or something.
I got baby wipes. I got you want some kava? I got
No,
some. I
no,
got some nice kava. You want some
we
kava?
don't want none.
Some
You're
whatever
cheap.
you like.
This is cheap stuff you stole from
Oh,
the
shit.
back of
What's
those.
going on?
I know with the Spider-Man stuff. You're stealing the stuff. You're part of those side missions from Spider-Man. The
Oh.
crook stealing all the fake stuff. No,
How you been, Mr. Dark? How you been, brother?
I'm good. I'm good. Just just got in. Had to take the kids to their regular extracurricular activities, and now I'm just joining you guys. Did I miss the what I've been playing?
No, we can ask you, brother. What have you been playing?
So I'll narrow it down to three things. I have been playing I've been playing some Cyberpunk 2077. I went back in, and that game is incredible with path ray tracing. So I'm playing that, and the other game I'm currently playing as well is this indie game just called El Paso to Nowhere. And if you like Max Payne, it is a love letter to Max Payne. But the cool thing is, you play this detective who has to go through these floors, and he was in a relationship with the female version of Dracula. It's a very mature story and amazing. The soundtrack was awesome. I actually got the soundtrack. So I can listen to it on Steam, but it's on Xbox as well. But it's an amazing game, and if you like the bullet time back in the day, Max Payne, I highly recommend it. Third game I've been playing, of course, is I went back to collect more of the Wonder Seeds in Mario Wonder, of course, one of the best games out here in 2023, and hopefully Game of the Year contender. You can never go wrong with Super Mario. He's definitely better than Sonic. So in case everyone's out there, got to put it out there.
Oh Lord, poor Sonic. Poor Sonic, man.
And then this little device here I got right here. If you can see, this is called the GPD Win Pro Max. It looks like a laptop, but it actually looks like a DS as well.
That looks sick.
It's a 10-inch Windows-based machine, and it's pretty cool. I've been playing a lot of my Game Pass games on there. Starfield runs amazing, especially on a 10-inch screen. Definitely much better for me. As you can know, I wear glasses, so reading those crazy notes that you find, like me, find everywhere in the game, I can read them better. So yeah. But that's basically what I've been playing, and I'm waiting to play Alan Wake 2 on Friday after watching the showcase. That game looks phenomenal.
Man, it looks scary now. I mean, wow, that was amazing. I mean, whew. it looks way more scary than the first one. So I hope that they do bring the fear in this one. All those
It
Well,
looks
you
scary.
you play the first one now, so of course it's not gonna be scary.
But I'll say this: Control is Remedy's best game. I'll say it here.
Lord.
How much you're getting paid for that?
Exactly.
Not say that.
Nothing at all. I'm talking. I'm letting you know. When you look at a developer, right, and you look at
We
their
all know that's
franchise,
not true.
you look at the games they've made, and Control, I think, is what they wanted to make at some point, and it led them to that. But Control overall is a great game. The story, it has me excited because I think Sam Lake put out that it has sort of like Control, right? Once you beat it, you can continue in the oldest house and kind of uncovering the layers of that world. And Alan Wake 2 is supposed to have replayability where you can continue afterwards with all your weapons with New Game Plus and find more manuscripts, more things to kind of open that world, which again, it's the same thing they did in Control. And when I look at all the games, to me, like I told you before, it's Control as the best game, number 1. 2, Quantum Break. 3, I would say Max Payne, The Fall of Max Payne, and then Alan Wake.
What about Crossfire X?
I do not acknowledge that game. I don't even know if it exists anymore. X did not give it to you. I can tell you that. Was that made by the Remedy C team somewhere?
Yeah, it must have been.
Oh man!
Same people that made Star Citizen.
Star Citizen is getting me hype.
Was that Volition who made Saints Row made a Crossfire X? Too soon?
Hey,
we're getting into Star Citizen talk. Tell me, because man, I got my chips right here. So if you guys are gonna talk about Star Citizen, man, I'm gonna have a lot of fun right now.
Well, not to derail the show, but Squadron 42, if people haven't seen it, it came out this week, that trailer. It's supposedly the single-player portion of Star Citizen. That game looked insane. That 28-minute video, I was like, I want to play this game. It's like it reminded me of the first time I saw Crisis for the first time, and you're looking at these models, and I'm like, I'm a huge Wing Commander fan from back in the days, and I'll tell you, I hope they say it's in the polish phase. I don't know if that means in another 25 years I'll be able to play it. Maybe hopefully I'll be alive. Sourblow, maybe you can donate some plasma so this guy can make this game. But hopefully we get to play it.
Yeah, here's the thing with that. He says it's in feature complete. They're polishing now, but the thing with Chris Robert is like
he's polishing my wallet, right? That's what he's doing, right?
He's always it's not even that. It's like because he at least he shows you with Alpha what they've been making and all that and the advance, but at the same time it's like he has a set goal. Like, okay, this is what I want to make, and this is the idea. And then once he sees the project keeps growing and growing, he wants to add more and more. And then you're like, okay, when are you gonna release this game?
Louis, watch the snacks.
Yeah, I know, I'm done. Because I was gonna add something. So wait, I got a question about this. So we can continue forward, right?
Your guess is in the back.
Yeah. I'm working.
Oh, right.
He wants to do what he wants to do. So his scope is, I'm gonna try to get all the money I can in the world and make this unrealistic game that he'll never finish, because he'll be like, well, I want to do this now. I mean, I hope Mark Hamill is still alive and see this game, because this game has been, at this point, who knows?
I was gonna, can I ask a question? So wait a minute.
Can I ask you a question? Did you buy Crime Boss before you say anything?
Yes, I did. But anyways, before I continue,
yes,
I did. I'm not lying. You'll see. I'll show you later. I even have a cool poster down there somewhere. I don't know. But anyways, I was gonna ask Sourblow this question. This is the same guy that's making Star Citizen, right?
Yeah. It's the same game.
I got a question though. So he's not finished with Star Citizen. He's making another one. Man, oh man, how the hell?
There's a single player and a multiplayer.
Yeah, it's always been
So to kind of put it like this, Lou, and I've talked about this game before. On the PS3, there was this game called Dust 514, and I think it was based on EVE Online. So EVE Online is this huge game that people play, and Dust 514 was the so-called MMO version of that, which was pretty cool. But unfortunately, at the time, it came literally at the tail end of the PS3, and afterwards, with any game, it just didn't last long. But it was a pretty cool concept. I remember, I think you need like a special hard drive or something. It came with something you purchase, and that was called Dust 514.
Oh, look who's here, Mr. Dark. Oh my god, look who's here, the most famous rocker YouTuber out there, the man with Xbox Chatter Days, and also who had a cool show in Spotify, which I really miss a lot. Man, oh man, I miss all those horror talks. Mr. Mouse Dompier, how are you doing today, sir? Welcome back.
I'm waiting for the Code Veronica episode.
Yo, what is the Code Veronica special? I don't think it's coming. Don't hold your breath on me doing a Code Veronica special. At least one that you'll agree with. But what's going on? It's been a minute. Glad to be on. Excited to talk video games with the squad. If you guys have been following me on socials, I've been kind of lurking in the shadows, taking a little break. This is my first gaming podcast appearance in a couple months. I think it's been a few months at this point. So shaking the dust off.
Put this on an exclusive
world premiere.
Oh man, welcome back, Miles. Thank you for hanging out with us, brother. Really, really thank you, bro. We're gonna have a lot of fun tonight. I know it, baby. So, who's taking the lead today? Because, man, we should head it up to Mr. Dark. Dark, why don't you take the lead, brother?
Oh, well, we know you can't. We know you can't fly the plane. So, thank you.
What?
You can go back to serving drinks. I think a baby in aisle 3 needs a cleanup. But hey, well, Miles, welcome. It's great to have you on here. I remember the last time you came on, I wasn't able to make it, but we were talking about what we were playing. So, what you been playing lately?
There's been too many video games. This might be a hot take, a wild take, but there's been way too much to play. And I've been kind of drowning. I keep starting all these games and not finishing them. So the ones I'm focusing on right now and trying to beat before Alan Wake 2 hits in a day at this point, running out of time, Lords of the Fallen is the one I'm the furthest along in for the kind of main story stuff. So been playing that. I'm a big Souls guy, big Soulsborne. Played pretty much all of them. Played Lies of P. That game is a masterpiece. One of my favorite games of the year.
I agree.
Lords of the Fallen doesn't quite hit that level. It's not on that caliber, but it has co-op. So if you have a buddy, you want to play some co-op Souls, which that's how I've been playing. It's a lot of fun. The umbral system, the light and dark, you have this lamp that shines a light on the underworld, creates almost a puzzle platformer type experience in a Souls game, which is really interesting. So you have to use the lamp to get through gates or navigate places you wouldn't be able to access otherwise. So that's a really interesting wrinkle. Really like that. The combat feels great. The world is really interesting and feels, and I guess, similar to Dark Souls 2. So it's not the best Souls-like that I've played, but it's still a really good Souls-like. And now that there have been some performance updates, it's in a much better state because, launch day on Xbox in particular was bad. It was really rough. But the team's been working really hard, and they've put out, I think, 3 significant updates since it's launched, and now it's in a much, much better state. Hoping to, I don't know, play that 30 hours over the next 2 days to beat that before Alan Wake hits. But
I'll tell you this, Lies of P, I went an entire week like it was no tomorrow trying to beat that game. I even broke the LB button on my RG ally, like I told everyone else. That's how much I went into that game. Yeah.
That's how much you were spamming the parries, huh?
Yep. But phenomenal game. How's the progression in Lord of the Fallens? Is it in the sense of like, say, I want to team up with somebody? Is it like in the sense of like, once I go back, I don't have anything, or do I keep some of the stats? Because you know how Remnant has that kind of progression when you play co-op, and some people are not a fan of it.
Yeah, so I would say it's more forgiving than Dark Souls. One thing this game does that's really cool compared to Dark Souls co-op, there's no summoning system. So you can go to your Xbox party, you can say invite friend, and they can join you in your game wherever you are. You don't have to be at a bonfire. You don't have to be anywhere specific. You can just invite someone to play. And then the co-op isn't tied to specific regions, so you can get in a session and you can just play for 4 or 5 hours and do a bunch of bosses without having to disconnect and re-invite someone. So that system makes it way more streamlined, but all of the progress for the actual story beats are tied to the host. So it's much like Dark Souls, where if you do want to have that progress on your own save, you will have to beat the boss again. For me, as someone who loves Souls games, that's just what I'm used to. But I understand if you want a traditional co-op experience, this is more like Dark Souls.
Okay.
Awesome.
All right.
All right, and Dark, welcome to the Souls team, man. That's what you do when you play Sekiro, those type of games, man. You break that LB button all the way. That's what you do. Trust
Do
me.
you play?
Me? Oh my god! I mean, with Sekiro, I broke an Elite 2. I broke the button playing Sekiro, and that game you had to parry. That was serious parrying in that game. No joke.
You know, it's funny. I beat Sekiro, but when it comes, for some reason, I beat Sekiro, but when I go to play Demon Souls, it's like I'm the worst player ever. But for some reason, I beat Sekiro. I don't know how, but my brain, some way, somehow, figured out how to get into those grueling combats. But when it comes to like Demon Souls, I'm struggling here with like these like humongous enemies that don't even move as fast. So it's just funny.
Yeah, that's the thing though. Demon Souls is kind of like a slow paced character type of thing, and you need like to wear like really light armor, to run around big monster stuff like that. But with Sekiro, he's super fast, super agile, and the bosses and everybody's just coming at you like nothing. Like, come here, baby, let me just kill you right away, and they just don't quit. So you got to be parrying like crazy. So it's way more faster when you play Demons. It's like, okay, taking it slow, pace. Yeah, it just doesn't feel the same. It just doesn't. It's incredible. It's incredible.
So before we derail the show, I guess I'll pass it over to Sourblow. Where were we at in the show before I came in and derailed it?
Well, we kind of talked about other things that weren't really on the note. So if you
So I
wanted,
know you guys were talking about Spider-Man. Have you played Spider-Man yet, Miles?
I haven't. No, I haven't even.
Still in the wrapper? Still
I
19
haven't.
years of
I
wrapper?
haven't even beaten Spider-Man 1. So
my God.
yeah, I'm.
Put him
I've
in jail.
played
Let's
it.
put Miles in jail.
I have it on Steam. I've played quite a bit on Steam Deck, but I haven't beaten the first one, and I wanted to beat the first one before I played the second one. But yeah, no, I've been playing Super Mario Wonder, but I haven't played Spider-Man 2.
I beat Wonder. Yeah, no, just to kind of, I guess you guys were talking about Spider-Man 2. I'm about 7 hours in, and I can say at the moment I've seen, a few things here and there. What happens with games, and people have sometimes bugs. I haven't ran into yet. I'm gonna knock on wood because I don't want to run into it. But I love the game so far. I think the set pieces, when you get to like fight the particular enemies, I'm gonna keep this as vague as possible. I don't want to spoil anything. I'm not Lou. They're amazing. They look amazing. And then sometimes, like I said, one of the things that I was talking about was the inconsistencies that I see, and I guess from a graphical perspective. And what I mean by that is the set pieces are amazing. You'll be fighting all this crazy thing going on, and then sometimes you'll walk and you'll see like the average NPC look kind of a little bit sus, a little bit like Starfield. There, like I was like, oh, is this part of the this concept art for Starfield? But overall, I think it's great. The combat is awesome, especially when you start building Miles and Peter with some of the abilities. And I just think the build up and the way they're kind of bringing the story and kind of getting you invested in the new players. I love that build up. I'll say it feels like the build up they did in Last of Us Part 2, where you have Ellie, you have her girlfriend, you have Joel, you have all the players in there, and they're just bringing you to that moment where they want to just either break your heart and kind of just go on this roller coaster. So overall, I've enjoyed. I'm gonna probably play some more, but like Miles, it's like I see one game and I'm like that, like a dog chasing my tail. I go and say I'm gonna go play that next. I think I bought Stray Souls. Miles, this one's for you. Stray Souls.
Yeah, that's out tonight, right?
I bought it. I was playing it in my car while I was waiting for my kid, and I was like, okay, the beginning. There's not a spoiler. Really graphic. Let's just say you're a character and you similar to like a movie trope. You start offing your family, and that's how I'll leave it at. And I was like, okay, but I like where this is going. Little indie game, but I'm excited to jump in as well. But yeah, I gotta clear. Everything's cleared for Friday for Alan Wake.
Oh man, I mean, I saw that game yesterday. It popped up in my Xbox. I was like, wait, what is this? Same thing with King Kong. I mean, I saw like the King Kong game. I was like, what is this?
No, we're not talking about that game.
No, we're not talking about it. But I saw it on Xbox. I said, what the hell? When was this announced? And I saw Stray Souls. Like, oh my god, I'm really impressed by that. I said, you know
So,
what? I got to play this game.
did you guys get to the showcase yet? About today's showcase?
Ooh, we're gonna hop into it. We're gonna hop into it.
Miles, did you get to the showcase today?
I did check out the showcase today.
All right. So, I guess we'll start with that. So, um, what was one of the games that really stood out for you, from the little catalog that they showed today?
Yeah, obviously Alan Wake 2, as a fan of the original, that's a big highlight. It was really cool to see more of the game in action, and it was really cool to see what the survival horror elements were going to look like. The sequence that they showed, the new launch trailer that they showed today, really gave you a look at how dark and how scary Alan Wake 2 is trying to be, which, again, Alan Wake 1, it's debatable whether it's a horror game or a thriller. I would throw it in the thriller camp way more than the horror camp because it was a little cheesy. It ties into Twin Peaks, some fun nods to that. It was kind of campy. Alan Wake 2 does not seem to have any of that. Alan Wake 2 seems to be going dark and brutal, and I'm really excited to see what that's going to look like after 10 years. It's been a long time since the original Alan Wake. I just played through Alan Wake Remastered a few months ago, so I'm ready. I'm ready to kind of dive in and get that tonal shift. So excited about that. Another one that I wasn't, I had an unhealthy relationship with this next game, and that's Ark Survival Evolved, which is one of my most played games of all time. Played a stupid amount of Ark Survival Evolved on the preview program, game preview on Xbox One. Played a lot. The game didn't look great. It didn't run great, but I still played hundreds of hours of it because there was nothing like it. So for years I said, okay, I can't play this game. I can't touch this game. I just need to ignore this game. But when they showed that, I think it's a remake technically. They're
It's supposed
remaking.
to be so speaking to somebody that's been waiting for this game, they're switching engines to UE5. So they're enhancing the visuals and giving you a lot of the perks that you would get with UE5. And I guess it's something that's been, in the making, coming for a while. So yeah, at first I actually thought it was Arc 2.
Yeah, it looked so good. It looked so gorgeous. And I thought to myself, oh no, this looks really good. So it might be another downward spiral for me there. But I would say those are kind of, for me and my taste, those were the two biggest standouts.
Before I go to Plume, did you see that part in Alan Wake in the demo? It kind of felt like Evil Dead with that specific lady that was it seems like she was in dual reality because I don't know if you got to see that part.
Wait.
Am I muted?
No, you're not
Plume?
muted.
Right.
No, that was you, Miles. I think it was
Oh,
Miles.
for you, Miles. Did you get to see?
Oh,
remember that
yeah,
lady?
yeah.
Sorry.
I thought you
Before
were
I go to
asking
Plume,
somebody
sorry,
else.
I was asking you. Didn't it feel like kind of like Evil Deadish in a way?
Oh yeah, exactly. There were definitely some tonal nods to the Evil Dead series, which again, for me, they shut it down. That
Yeah.
Spider-Man 2 slander is going to cost you.
I didn't slander anything. This is,
All right, are we back? Yes, we're back. We're back.
Happy Halloween. We were stuck in Alan Wake, by the darkness.
You got a little spooky there for a second.
All right, we're back.
The Northlight engine is incredible. What they've done, I always feel like Remedy's pushing kind of like the tech, the stuff that we see that we talk about, ray tracing, audio, all these things, and the way they kind of use it. They implement it in a way that really shows what you can do when you actually do it correctly. One of the things that I loved about Control was when you're walking through those corridors, you have like that red kind of glistening right in front of you, or you have those hallways with the shadows. It was just that is what I can't wait to kind of dive in and put on some nice headphones and probably scream here and there, drop my controller a couple of times. But Plume, today's show,
Yeah.
what were your games that kind of impressed you? What do you think overall?
I thought it was a good show. I thought like it gets you excited for things that are coming out that aren't first party. Of course, that's obviously what their goal was. These smaller shows aren't going to have anything insane. But I was surprised. The biggest surprise for me was definitely Metal Gear showing up there. I feel like them showing the in-engine stuff there looked really good, and I just didn't expect that at an Xbox showcase. I don't know. It's just I think about Metal
Well,
Gear.
remember, with the Xbox One, Kojima came on stage with the Phantom Pain.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. So that was a nice surprise to see that, and it looks really good. Alan Wake 2 as well. As somebody who experienced the first one just this year, like Louis
Oh, really?
played it
Okay.
just this year, it wasn't a scary game for me, but I don't know, maybe it's because it's older and just we're used to better looking stuff. But it was a fun game. I enjoyed the concepts and everything. And this one here, Alan Wake 2, graphically, and looks like just so realistic, right? It looks like I'm not the best with horror. I'll be honest. I'm not the best with horror. So it looks like I'm going to be in for a fun ride going through this one. And just
Have you played Control?
I have played Control, yeah.
Okay, so you played the DLC, AWE.
No. Didn't play
I would there's a nice 5-minute recap. I would watch it because it ties heavily into Alan Wake 2 and the events.
I'll check that out. Because yeah, it looks, and even like the enemies, the ending after they finished the trailer, that one enemy that they showed off with it just, I don't know, looks very, very creepy. So I'm pretty excited for that. Other than that, there was that one game they showed off at the beginning, which looks pretty cool. Ikaro Will Not Die.
Yes.
The action platformer style. Like I love those styles of games, so that one I'm definitely gonna keep my eye on. Yeah, and then RoboCop looks cool. November 2nd, I'll probably be checking that one. I've heard some good things about it because from people who've already played it or checked out or the demo or whatever it was. Heard some good things about RoboCop Rogue City, and I can't remember the last good RoboCop game that we've gotten. So I hope this one does live up to whatever.
You know what I can't wait for someone to mod the Terminator, and then we get RoboCop versus the Terminator.
There you go. Yeah.
Fun fact about this, I think the dev team that's making RoboCop, they also made, if you haven't played, Terminator Resistance, which is, I think they have an enhanced version that's currently on the series consoles, and if you have a PS5 or a PC. And I can tell you, out of all the Terminator movies that I've seen recently, that's the best version of what we have been waiting for as Terminator fans of a movie. It's really cool. So I would highly recommend. Sometimes it's on sale, so you can probably catch it on sale. I got the whole game and the DLC. I think it was for like $15 at one point. So if you're a Terminator fan, they do a great job. The RoboCop demo was awesome. I don't know if everybody got to play the demo, but they put a lot of attention to detail, especially with a lot of licensed games. I think what they, and again, I don't know this, but I played the original PS2 version, and it seems like they've taken some elements of that because it sort of plays. If you go back right now, if you have a copy, dust off, your PS2, it literally was an FPS, and it plays almost exactly. Of course, this looks better, and I like that it has like RPG elements. So I'm definitely down to play RoboCop.
And it's November 2nd. That's the thing, though, right? It's coming out in time. It's just
so many games
to play and finish and everything. It's like, when do you fit all of this in?
I don't know, man, but I need a time machine or something to stop time so I can just like click, do everything I need to do, work, all that stuff, and then play games. But it's 2023 it's just ridiculous. Like I blink and there's like another game, and I'm like, oh my God. Yeah. At this point, I'm just like, whatever. I'm just gonna see what I get to. Sourblow, what about you, man? What games impressed you from the showcase?
Before I say anything, do you actually want to read this super chat? You should read this one.
Oh, sure. Let me look at it right here. Give me a second. It's from Messi Yodani Casada, of course, a Xbox Chatter Day alumni here. Miles truck the dump. Hey to all, good to see you, Mr. JD.
Oh man.
Yo, Donnie being messy as always.
Yep.
So yeah, so I was actually streaming the showcase. Lou was supposed to accompany me. He never showed up, as always. But as I was watching the showcase, there was a lot of like interesting games. Some of them I was like, wow, this is like a crazy Lou game, like that's still on water or something like that. Like that's the type of game he likes to play. I've seen him playing a lot. Then you had RoboCop, of course. But I think like all of us, probably the one we were most hyped about was Alan Wake 2. I really liked the first one. And I agree with Miles. It is more of a psychological thriller than a horror. And this one looks like, it has more horror into it. So I thought it was pretty interesting. That other game, what's it called? The one that not the one that Plume mentioned. That I want to be.
Is it with an I, the one you're talking about?
Yeah, not that one. The other one, the one that they showed on the previous showcase.
Finals or the first-person shooter one?
The dungeons, no.
Dungeons of Hinterberg.
Yeah,
Yes,
I
yes.
think
Yeah,
that one is kind of cool, but I think on this showcase, the way they showed it at the beginning, it kind of looked kind of slow, and I feel like it showed better the previous time they showed it than this time. I feel like how they slowed it down kind of like didn't make it look so well. But last time I remember it looked really, really good, the combat. And then the finals, that was one that I'm super hyped. I actually wanted to get into the early access before, and I never
Tomorrow
got.
it goes live, the open beta.
Yeah, I know tomorrow. But I remember way back there was like early access.
Well,
like
they know that
alpha
you're
thing.
terrible at shooting. I don't think they want you to market their game. So when they're showing clips, they show your kills horrible. You shoot, like all of a sudden they think it's a bug in the game, and no, it's actually you that you're just terrible at shooting.
The
You got me.
destruction in that game and the environments looks just incredible. It looks like the first-person shooter version of what Crackdown 3 wanted to be, with everything just falling around. I
Yeah.
hope it's a
But
closed
doesn't Rainbow Six do that kind of?
You can do certain walls and stuff. Yeah,
Okay.
you can. But this one looks like almost everything seems very destructible.
Yeah,
But
I think the whole town or city like is destructible. It's small. It's not like huge cities, but everything is destructible. So that's pretty cool.
Miles, did you get to play the finals at any time in closed beta or anything like that?
No, I haven't played it yet, so I'm curious to dive in because talking about physics and destructible environments, I'm somebody who played a lot of Bad Company 2, which for a long time was the gold standard of destruction in a first-person shooter. So it's cool to see someone else come out and like Plume mentioned Crackdown 3. I think a lot of us, that was one of the things we were most excited about, was to see that destructibility and to see physics really push to the next level. And as we know, Crackdown 3 didn't deliver on that physics promise. So I'm curious to see how Finals feels. So I don't know if have any of you played the previous betas?
No, I've seen videos and it looks amazing. I mean, the only game of that destruction I can remember is Red Faction. Yeah.
oh, Red
So,
Faction.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
I'm excited to see how this kind of changed the kind of like the dynamics of FPS competitive, like a shooter like that is, and the team dynamic, and how people find ways to kind of do some crazy things and break this game. So it looks cool. Looks pretty cool.
They're the same guys doing
And Arc Raiders.
Arc Raiders, yeah.
I got to play Arc Raiders, and again, the trailer we saw originally at the Game Awards looked cool. At the time, I think when they had the beta, it was like an extraction type game. It kind of changed to an extraction type. Again, the loop wasn't there, so I'm guessing they want to either shift to this game right now, and then hopefully, after that, move over to Arc Raiders, and it ends up being as well. So hopefully these two games turn out to be awesome for whatever type of player that wants to get into these either games that are coming from them.
Yeah.
What about you, Lou?
I
I know the wife doesn't let you watch TV all the time, but so did you get to watch the trailer? Did somebody sneak it in?
I wasn't interested, buddy. I'm sorry. I just wasn't so excited to watch it really deep. Nah, I'm just kidding. I watched it, brother. I had a lot of fun watching it. And you know what was my number one game? I mean, let's not argue about it. That's not. I mean, you gotta know which is my
Peppa the
number one
Pig?
game. They did not show the damn Peppa. No, I mean RoboCop Road City, man. I mean, oh my God, that's the game I'm more really excited about. And then after that comes Out of the Way because hey, I had my doubts with it. As Miles said it, the first one because here's my thing with horror games, right? They show you this game, you're like, oh, it looks scary, but once you jump into it, like, what the hell am I playing? You're expecting like to be scary, kind of like this game that came out last year. Oh my god, the one in space. I keep
Dead Space?
not
The
Dead
Callisto
Space.
Protocol?
Callisto Protocol, yeah. When we saw Callisto Protocol, I was like, oh my god, this game looks like we're gonna see the thing, right? We're gonna see like cool like the thing stuff, and it's gonna be pretty amazing. Once the game come out, I was like, what the hell am I playing? This is more like an action game. It's not scary. It's just okay. The same thing happened with Alan Wake. I was expecting like to be a horror game, but then I played the game. I'm like, it's more like a thriller. But this one, oh my god, just the fight with a lady, I was like, my god. I mean, I gotta play this one day and on the computer. I mean, this is the game I gotta play on PC so everybody can watch me scream like a baby. That's the game I gotta play, and RoboCop too because man, RoboCop is oh my god, that's the game I'm super excited for, super excited. And hey, I don't know what you guys not talking about is like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. That's another.
Oh, yes.
Oh my god. You build stuff, you go fishing. I mean, just for the fishing, I'm down for it. Anything that has to do with fishing, I'm down for it. I don't care. I'll be spending time fishing, grabbing fish. I'm gonna be doing all sorts of stuff. And building stuff on your own that you can do that too. That's just awesome. I mean, I really enjoyed that trailer. I had a lot of fun with it. I've never been an art person, but I was really hoping they were gonna show art too, but this is like a Survivor Ascendant, which is cool. It's cool and it looks great. It looks
Maybe, Vin Diesel's, tying
Isn't
it in
it-
with Fast and the Furious, so it'll be Arc 2. Too fast.
You know,
Furious.
I don't doubt that because how many Jurassic Park movies out there, and then how many Fast and Furious are out there? So probably they can mix it up and make Fast. I don't know whatever it's called, deal with Park. I don't know anything like that. And also, that Man of Lords looks pretty awesome too. That's another game that I was like, wow,
Which one?
Man of Lords, the ones where you build like a city. You go to
Oh,
war.
yeah.
Empire style, yeah.
I like RTS style games. That looks pretty cool. And yeah, man. I mean, the finals. I saw the trailer. I think this was like the first time I saw it. I don't know. I probably saw it before because I'm really forgetful. Sorry, guys. I really forget.
I have sent that trailer before on the chat.
You
so
have? All right.
You
But
have to have
It's okay,
seen
Lou.
it
We
before.
understand.
Yeah, I'm forgetful.
When we get to your age, we forget stuff. We get.
What you calling me old, man? That's just wrong, man. It's just wrong. You're always trying to make me.
It's called the jailbird brain.
Jailbird, yeah. It's called having a lot of stuff in your life at the same time. I'm going nuts. But anyways,
Lou,
man,
when you have a kid, get back to me.
Exactly.
don't bring that up. Don't bring that up, man. I want to talk about that.
He's gonna have twins, so
Yeah.
Ah, son of a. I'm gonna get you off for this.
But yeah,
Don't
no,
say
so-
that. That's what she wants. And she like we get twins. That's it. I'm done. No. We don't want that. No twins. No twins. Just one kid. But either way, though, man, RoboCop was my game, and I saw Edo 9, man. That was pretty cool. But man, I have a feeling that we will see Kane in that game. I mean, we have Nuke. They mentioned Nuke, and I was like, please, Lord, Kane be in that game, man. Oh my God, can you imagine fighting Kane in that game? And I just love how RoboCop moves. I mean, I played the demo. I played it for like 30 minutes, and my God, it felt awesome. I mean, you feel like a tank. You're like this tank running around, shooting things. When you punch the bad guys, it's hilarious. When you do that shot, that special shot from part 1. I'm not gonna say it. Can I say it live? Is that cool?
You mean when you can shoot an enemy in the crotch?
Yeah. Oh, thank you. There you go. When you do the crotch shot, there you go. The crotch shot. I mean, it literally feels like the movie Crotch Shot, pretty much. It's awesome. I mean, that RoboCop game is just wow. I'm amazed by it, and I love how they put the detail.
I'm glad that was the most amazing thing out of all the entire game.
yeah.
What
It wasn't the authenticity, the fact that they're using some of the original actors and their voices. No, it was the fact that you can shoot.
Exactly. I mean, Dark, let me tell you something. I don't know, when you played Alien Isolation, did you feel like you were actually in the Alien game? I mean, like in the real Alien movie, pretty much. You felt like
it was very tense.
Yeah,
Alien
it was very
Isolation was one of those games where it felt very tense and just kind of trying to escape the alien. I felt it was awesome. I mean, they really did a great job of capturing the feeling of what it would feel like to have this humongous xenomorph coming after you.
And not only that, I mean, when you start the game, you get the nostalgic feeling. I mean, you wake up, you're inside the sleeping pod, you see like the dust on the sleeping pod, open it up, and when you go, you remember back in the day, it was like those hard keyboard computers, square computers. That was the thing back in the day they had in the movie.
Yeah,
Just,
yeah.
just that's what I love when people just put that detail. And that's how I felt when I played RoboCop. I mean, yeah, of course the voices are awesome and all that stuff, but man, that crotch shot for me was just the thing. That's it. That won my heart. And
10,
also
10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. So every game, just put a crotch shot and it's 10 out of 10 for you.
10 out of 10 for me. Crotch shot, yeah. But yeah, that was a showcase for me. But man, I loved it. It was pretty fun. It was a 25-minute showcase and it was real fun. I really enjoyed it. Peaceful.
So
Fun.
I guess I'll ask, I'll start with Miles again. What do you think about the overall show and anything that you think they can do better? Do you like this format? Did you think it's a great way of highlighting other games from different creators?
Yeah, it's funny because a lot of us in the community have basically been saying, hey, Xbox, just copy the Nintendo Direct. PlayStation copied it with State of Play. Why don't you guys copy it? And there is a sentiment of people who don't want the talking heads. They don't want the interviews. They just want trailers and gameplay. And this was Xbox's first kind of official push into that space. So I thought it was cool. I think as long as we have this great mix of like the last preview, like the developer directs, the standard E3 style showcases, for me, this is what I wanted from Xbox in terms of messaging in a given year, is a variety of showcases, more consistent messaging, and more consistent looks at games that are coming to Xbox. They don't necessarily need to be first party only. When we dive deep into the console extremists, for lack of a better word, we tend to fixate on just the exclusives, first party exclusives. But in the average year, that's such a small fraction. As we've seen with Spider-Man 2 being one of the highlights for PlayStation this year, if you only play first party exclusives, that's a slow year. So it's cool to see Xbox celebrate its partners and bring in stuff like, seeing Metal Gear Solid 3 there. Again, I was in the camp of people who wasn't expecting that, but that was cool to see. Like a Dragon was there. We got some cool indies, and it was a good mix of indies, foreign partners, and then Alan Wake 2 being kind of the grand finale and the biggest upcoming game. So I liked it. I thought it was quick. I thought it was snappy. And I think for the people who just want gameplay trailers, it was their answer to the Nintendo Direct.
Nice. Plume, what about you? Anything that stood out that maybe can change? Did you like the format? Anything else they can do to maybe make the next one even better for you, with maybe games that you wanted that maybe call to you?
Well, the only thing I think at this point they can do to make it better is just give us more Game Pass games in the show, right? Like that's
Just make everything Game Pass.
yeah.
Hey, I mentioned that earlier.
We know you don't buy games now.
Yeah, I mean, but no, like the show itself, I thought, it was good. It was interesting seeing the partners. I think it's a smart move with all of the games that Xbox does have now, all the first party stuff. If there's ever there's a time where there is a lull in their releases, there is a lull in the marketing and content for specific Xbox stuff, put out a third party show like this just to get people talking about the brand. Like they did it at a perfect time, right? The whole week people have been talking about Spider-Man, Super Mario, and now all of a sudden we go a week after their release and people are talking about Xbox again, which was a very, very smart move, in my opinion. And you think about like when PlayStation does these things and Nintendo does these things, and they show off games that are obviously multi-platform, but when people are watching them specifically on an Xbox show, they're going to think this is an Xbox game. There are people out there who are going to think it's an Xbox game, like Metal Gear Solid Delta, right? There may be people that think this is an Xbox exclusive for a little while until obviously it isn't. They'll eventually figure it out. But I think from a marketing perspective, it's very smart. PlayStation is the masters at that. I find when they do their shows and you have people thinking that there are exclusive PlayStation games like Hogwarts Legacy. I think for the longest time there was a group of people that thought that Hogwarts Legacy was a PlayStation exclusive when that wasn't the case, because they showed it off so many times under the PlayStation banner. But yeah, I thought it was a good show, and I hope they keep it up next year for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I definitely was shocked when it said Metal Gear. I thought I was going to see the same trailer that we saw with the birds
Yeah.
eating and everything. And I'll say my piece about Metal Gear afterwards. What I thought was impressive that I saw, especially someone right now that I'm playing the. Yes, I'm part of the problem. I bought the MGS collection. Um,
I
again,
heard it's even worse than some people are saying, especially on PC. Is
so
that
here's the thing. Um, I- I'm playing the game and it works. Um, what people don't know is that part 2 and 1 came on GOG and they were bare ports. Um, I can even put full screen, so the game plays in a weird aspect ratio. Um, but I don't have a problem of accessing Metal Gear. I own Metal Gear so many times, it's like it's ridiculous. I can go anywhere if I want to experience it on any of the consoles. I can. It's just the fact that it was on Steam, it's on PC, especially with PC handhelds, and I'm just enjoying it. One of the things that enticed me was I can read the screenplay books and all this stuff. As someone who has the Metal Gear lore book, I know, right? Um, I like those things because I get to read. Another thing I like, which I'm not saying it's out of this world, is I was listening to the Snake Eater theme song with my headphones and on Steam, and it was cool to just listen to this stuff. I mean, I love Metal Gear. Could they done a better job to kind of give me a package that that I can do more if I went the route of using other means? Sure, but I'm just happy to know that for people that want to play Metal Gear and they don't want to tinker or have never experienced it, it's still there. I get it as a fan. I am going to get the remake, which we saw. And if you look at it, right, I felt like I bought like the Castlevania and Contra, right? It's not like all of a sudden, Simon Belmont became, Aloy in Castlevania 4. So I just, it's there. It's a great collection. I'm hyped to play it. I was playing, 3, and I'm gonna go through it again through this collection and waiting. The only thing I'm crossing my fingers for, and again, I don't care in what form I get it. I want Volume 2 to have MGS4. I need MGS4 to be rescued.
I think we saw there's something. I saw something on X the other day that in the database of the game there was a mention of it. So they're thinking there may be
Yeah.
a volume 2.
So to close out Metal Gear, one of the things that I noticed in this demo now that it went to UE5, which I'm surprised. I would think they would use the Fox engine, which was really great. Is I I noticed that Snake or Big Boss looks much younger, so he doesn't look like an actual one-for-one copy of what Solid. I mean, if you played Metal Gear, you know they're both in the same, right? But it was cool that they put in the details of how Big Boss would look in 1964, which something maybe you couldn't do back within the PS3 era or PS2, kind of those facial features. So some of the little things that I took the trailer apart and I kind of said, let me look at the attention to detail. To me, uh, Delta looks like what Blue Point did with Demon Souls, and I hope it's to that extent that they did an amazing job with. So, as long as they respect the material and they give us a more modern experience with 3, I hope that we continue to get more. I wouldn't mind if they go the Capcom route and next, whatever version of Metal Gear, because I would definitely like to see this franchise, which to me, it's been the pinnacle part of my one of the games that stands out in my gaming career per se that I love. So, can't go wrong with the Lale Lulelo and listening to Kojima's 25-minute cutscenes. Hey, can't beat that. Yesterday I was sitting in my car, took my coffee, and I was like, oh man, I remember Kojima, man. It's the Zack Snyder of video games. Love him. So Sour, what did any thoughts on the showcase overall? Things they could improve, things you want to see maybe that they can do or implement? Was it too short, or was the timing perfect, or should they go maybe 45 minutes? Should they show more Game Pass games for Plume?
Yeah, all Game Pass game. That's all I needed. No, I thought the pacing was good. I think the length was great for for the games they showed. Of course, if you're gonna show more games, then you can make it longer. But for what they showed, I think it was perfect timing. I would like them to continue. However, the developer direct, I kind of like those. also. So maybe you can do the first party, you do developer directs, and then for third party, you kind of have this format. And I do like, the different style of showcase, like Miles said earlier. So I think that's pretty cool.
Crazy.
What's up?
I hope you were listening, but what's up, man? What
No.
what did you like? Did you like the format? Did you like the length of the games they showed? What do you think maybe they could do better, or you thought, hey, this one was perfect, and just hopefully they continue to just keep them the same and giving great content?
Of course, it was perfect, man. It was short, sweet, and they went down to it. They showed what they had to show, which was freaking fantastic. I mean, we saw games, we saw what we wanted to see, gameplay, which was fantastic. We saw more into Alan Wake, which we all got more excited about after we saw it. Like what Miles said earlier, thriller. Now it seems like it's a horror game, which is fantastic. Um, what else did we see? And yeah, look at that Metal Gear. I mean, what we saw on the and I felt kind of weird though. Didn't PlayStation have the marketing to that game? But that was weird
No,
though.
they showcased the game at their last showcase. I think the sort of the reveal.
The review, yeah, they showed the
Yeah.
review, yeah, they showed the review, and look at how good it looks. I mean, you see that Metal Gear, and you see how that Unreal Engine 5 works. It's just amazing. I mean, you saw Snake with mud, which is, I was like, man, it gave me Predator vibes right there. And you see the alligators, the water, the grass. Wow, it's amazing how this game is looks so alive. And like you mentioned, Big Boss, how young he looked. That's just freaking awesome. I mean, they really, and we had to wait till it comes out, but man, I just hope that they really nailed it with this. And like you mentioned before, they bring back all the old Metal Gear games, kind of like what Capcom has done with the Resident Evil games. And man, if they do that, Konami could be back in it, which really was just an amazing job. But yeah, how Xbox, showed the showcase was freaking, like I said, for me, is a 10 out of 10. It was just perfect, perfect. Even
Okay.
though a lot of people might say, oh, some of the games, hey, it was just all about games. Right then and there, showed us gameplay, and everything was just amazing.
Cool.
Yeah,
Oh, and a little secret too, you can shoot people's crotches in Metal Gear. Just to let you know. Yes.
I think the expectation also for the showcase that helped a lot because they didn't like promise the world. This is a third
But
party.
people made up stuff. They're like, oh my god, we're gonna see what was that game?
Grand Theft Auto 6. I saw
Well, no,
that last night. I was like,
Scalebound. I'm surprised to hear Scalebound. We would have heard that Scalebound.
Scalebound. I wanted to see Scalebound though.
GTA 6 was gonna come out.
I'll be honest with you. I was actually expecting to see Stalker. I was actually expecting to see like Stalker, right? Stalker 2. More about Stalker 2. Yeah,
I think that team is still working. I think they had a great showing, or they showed the game enough at Gamescom. I didn't expect Stalker at this one. I think we would have known. They've been very vocal on social media, letting know if they're going to show up to a place. I would have loved to see maybe an updated trailer to Replaced. That would have been cool.
Yeah, I mentioned that. Replace would have been.
I would have loved to see Killer Clowns.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know what? That's a great segue. So to kind of segue into that, I know, Miles, you kind of came in late. So, if you don't mind sharing, what you've been up to overall?
So there's been some big developments in my life as of late. So yeah, I've made the transition to the dev side. So now I work at Ilphonic, who is going to be the a publisher and co-developer of Killer Clowns from Outer Space. We were also involved with Friday the 13th, Ghostbusters Spirits Unleashed, Predator Hunting Grounds, Arcadegeddon, and a lot of other stuff. So yeah, I'm a social media coordinator for Ilphonic. So I get to touch awesome brands like Ghostbusters and make content for Ghostbusters. And yeah, so I've been doing that the last couple of months. So it's been an exciting transition for me. It's been really cool to be a part of shipping games. Ghostbusters Spirits Unleashed just came to Steam and Switch last week. So that was my first kind of video game launch. And so I got to be part of play tests and part of the feedback loop and part of the sprints leading up to that. So I got again, I've only been there for a couple months, but I got a brief taste of what it's like to ship a video game, and that's awesome. So excited to be a bigger part of bringing games to people, which has been a goal of mine for a while.
So I just purchased Ghostbusters Experience Unleashed because here in my house we're a Ghostbuster family. It was
Love
either
to
that
hear
or I
it.
just owned them.
Right answer.
Yeah.
Correct
So,
answer.
I just started the tutorial. I'm gonna probably play this weekend with the kids. Pretty excited to get in, especially with that. But kind of what you were saying. Getting the experience to ship games and kind of do all that. It's not like we sometimes make it out to be, right? Where you just push a button and it just all of a sudden it just parachutes
Wait,
out,
it's
right?
not like that?
There's so much that goes
There's
into
no
it.
60 FPS switch. What?
I
No.
thought there was one. Come on.
I thought you just flip a switch and the game's 60 FPS.
Yeah.
I thought it was that simple.
Really?
Damn.
Damn.
Hmm.
When is Ghostbusters 2 coming out then? Are you guys gonna just flip a
Yeah,
switch?
let me just. Yeah, exactly. Yep. Ghostbusters 2
I-
dev time of 2 weeks. That's how long it takes to make a game and ship a game.
Miles, I got one thing to ask you about the Killer Clowns game, right? I don't want you to give me spoilers, but I got something you got to put in the game for me. I mean, you got to tell those guys you got to put this thing in the game. You got to put that awesome head punch from the little clown in that game. I want that punch in that game.
Well, did
I-
you? You must not have watched the latest trailer, then, dude.
He doesn't.
What?
He doesn't
No,
watch
wait.
He
anything.
doesn't.
Wait,
You must
He's
not
learning
have
to
watched
read.
the
He's
latest
learning to read.
trailer.
Wait a minute.
Wow.
Wait a minute.
Asking for features that we've already shown.
Oh,
Dang.
you know what?
my
Oh,
You should.
that
You know what? You
makes
should
sense.
not allow him to even buy the game, Miles. You should just put his. I'll give you his information. and you just ban him.
SMH, dude.
Dear
Yes,
Lord.
obviously I can't say anything else about Killer
I know.
Clowns.
I
but
know.
That is in a trailer that we've officially released. I can say that.
Let me look for that right now because I've
For
been
that,
just hella
for that
busy.
crazy, for that crazy.
That was
Put him in
the-
jail. Put him in jail. Put him
He's
in
in
jail.
jail.
It was
what?
at Gamescom. It was the Gamescom. It was our big reveal that Ilphonic was involved with Killer Clowns. We put out a new trailer, and it's brief, but there's a glimpse of what you're looking for
Wait a
in there.
minute. Did I see that Sourblow?
Yeah, no, I'm definitely excited. As one of those kind of like franchises that I would have never thought would become a video game, and I guess now in this day and age, we've seen what Evil Dead, we've seen Friday the 13th, man,
Oh,
Predator, dude, I loved Predator. The fact that
It's
you got
cool.
to, play as a Predator and had all those powers and jump, and it was a great time. I remember, yeah, I got the game. I think I bought it on PC. And then I was able to play it again when I think it went through PS Plus or something. So love that. Friday the 13th. I remember when I used to play those on the weekends, I met some people. I was using clubs on Xbox for
yeah.
people that have no friends like me because I play at weird hours. And I met a group of people, and what we started doing in the game is we had like a dance off, and whoever had the best dance would kind of like the Bachelor move on to the next round and not get killed. But whoever had the worst dance in the game, even though you've played the game, it's not like you can bust a move there. That's how we would choose to execute people. So it was pretty cool in ways that we found ways to make the game even more fun. I think the last time we played it, Lou cheated, and we had to report him because he was like,
What? Wow.
you know,
Cheating
we
what?
found
What
that he
did
was
do?
modding the game.
What game? What game was I modding?
Friday the 13th.
Oh, he's in jail now.
Friday the 13th.
Well, it's not like it's something new. He's in jail every day. So
It's common for me, Miles. It's common. I'm always in jail because I'm always doing some crazy stuff, and my shenanigans and stuff like that put me in this position. Yep, sad but true. Sad but true.
cool. So Sour, since I'm gonna pull a Lou here. I'm not as familiar with the agenda, and I've derailed the show as much as I can. What's kind of our next topic that we have? Are we in the cruise control, or we're still up in high altitude?
Oh, we're everywhere. But real quick, before we move on, I did wanted to touch base real quick with Miles. Miles, congratulations on your new job.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Your trajectory like in the industry, and just
He's not
thinking
gonna sign your
like,
controller. He said no.
They're gonna set your controller. Oh, wait.
I was gonna work to it.
For a
you
nominal
know?
fee, $75, I will sign any controller, plus shipping and handling. You do have to ship
Sign
it
Miles
Oh.
Dumper.
and then pay for the shipping back.
Oh.
But for probably roughly $100, I will sign your controller.
Oh my God! Can you imagine a Killer Clowns controller? Oh my God!
Oh my god!
Oh my God!
But
I'm really psyched up.
Anyway, what I was gonna say is that it's amazing that you're a huge horror fan, and you basically landed in a studio that it's known for working with those type of games. How did you feel like when
Yeah.
that happened? Like when you got the job?
I mean, honestly, it was awesome. It's been a goal of mine for a long time, and um, appreciate the kind words. It's still kind of surreal because everything's happened relatively quickly. I've been in the games industry for I think coming up on 5 years at this point. Worked in a lot of different backgrounds in audio production and video production and sales and marketing. And so over the last couple years, as I've been working at like IGN and Windows Central, I was looking at studios and talking to people about, what's next? Where do I want to be 5 years from now? And I started talking to teams, and I had a lot of grateful people, or a lot of people I'm very grateful for behind the scenes, kind of helping guide me along and help answer the big questions that I have. So there was a small list of studios that I was looking at because, where I wanted to go, it needed to make sense for the games that I play and the genres that I love. And, before I applied at IllFonic, I had played every IllFonic game. Friday the 13th, huge fan, loved
Oh my god.
playing game chat, and Friday the 13th was just unlike anything else. And also played Predator Hunting Grounds, like that a lot. Ghostbuster Spirits Unleashed. I reviewed that for Windows Central actually prior to being hired. So I was very familiar with them, and I was, that was a studio I could see myself fitting in, with what they do and what they're going to be doing. I had no idea about the Killer Clown stuff. Like I was excited about Killer Clowns before I had any idea that IllFonic was going to be involved in any capacity. So when I talked to my boss about that, I was like, oh hell yeah, let's go, dude. That's just a game I would have been hyped about either way. So there's no sense of like false excitement for that. I'm just genuinely thrilled to be a part of that. And so yeah, I will say the process was intensive. It was like a month-long, 4-part interview process. I was told exactly how many people applied, and hundreds of people applied. So yeah, it was really kind of awesome and surreal to get the official "you want the job" phone call after going through everything and applying and landing at a studio you really want to be at. And it wasn't, it was a situation where, like I said, I had a small target list of studios that were a good fit, and IllFonic was on that list. And so to be able to work at IllFonic, for me was amazing. It has been amazing. It is amazing. And yeah, I'm really excited about, what this means for me as I look towards what I want to do next.
Yeah, I was definitely pretty happy to see when I saw you made the post. I was like, this is like a perfect setting for Miles. I think the only thing that would top this
It's Code Veronica. You'll be the social
no, not
media
Code
manager.
Veronica. He doesn't care about that.
Why you gotta bring that up, man?
The only thing that would top that is if they make him part of the team that will make Phantom Dust too.
Yeah, like 5 years from now, my goal is to direct. If I'm going to be the game director for Phantom Dust in 5 years, that's the next move for me. All right.
Let me ask you this, Miles. A lot of people have asked me this question. One of the things I've always wanted to do is be in the gaming industry, and many times the misconception was that you have to be able to make games. What would you say to people that want to do something like what you're doing within gaming, that they can do to maybe work at a studio when they don't do any type of game development, and kind of seeing the different roles beyond that?
Yeah, so as we know, the gaming industry is huge, and there are so many different ways that you can touch video games, and there are so many different teams, whether it's community, whether it's social, whether it's marketing, whether it's game dev. A lot of people think that game dev is just coding exclusively, and while that is a huge part of it, that is a fundamental part, and there are a lot of incredibly talented people who do that. If that's not how your brain connects, then that's not something you necessarily have to do to be a part of the games industry and be a part of bringing games to people. So I would say if you are genuinely interested in something that was important for me was understanding what I want to do and how those roles fit into what I want to do. And so find people you know and trust, or find people you respect. And sometimes just like a DM or an email, like just saying, hey, like, I love what you do. I love what your team does. Can I ask you some questions about what your day looks like what your role looks like? And for me, that was huge. I did that with tons of people, and that really helped me like dial in and understand, how my skills fit, and is this the right fit? Because I wanted to be in a role and do something that I'm excited about and I have skills in doing. So yeah, I would say if you are interested, don't be discouraged if you can't like single-handedly code a video game. That's not the end all be all. I will say if you do want to be more involved with that, then start. It's never too late to start. Dive in. There's just an unlimited amount of resources online for game development if you do want to get into coding, and that's something that I'm doing on the side as well to really understand the process better and be a bigger part of that, getting inside the games, opening up the hood and seeing how everything works. But yeah, I would just say ask questions. There's no such thing as dumb questions. You won't always get responses from people, but it really, if you're just authentic and you're genuine, it never hurts to ask.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think you hit it on point, and sometimes it's you get to appreciate also like some of the stuff when you start understanding like, oh my god, this what goes into shipping a game, what it goes into the efforts of doing kind of all the different things that come together to make this thing happen. It's not just people making the games. There's other people that work to kind of market it like you're doing, people that test it and so forth, and making sure when it goes out, it go out correctly to the correct stores. It's not it's not marked as 1 cent and you lose some money because you made an error on the back end of how you put the price on your game. As I've heard some horror stories. Cool. I guess Sour got ejected. So
Pretty
I
much.
guess what happened?
No, I'm just saying, I'm right here watching this Killer Clowns trailer again and again and again. What was this trailer in my life? My God, I'm
Lou,
psyched.
you didn't have your
I'm
VPN,
psyched.
Lou, so they were showing you the Spanish version of Killer Clowns.
Oh, that could be.
Made by a different team. Look,
Man,
payasos.
I'm hyped. I'm getting hyped. I've been watched this show like 3 times already. I'm just like, whoa. They got
Let's
the dog.
go. Yeah, I'm
I
hyped. I'm still hyped.
I'm getting this game everywhere. I did the same thing with Friday 13. I got it everywhere. I got it on PC. I got it on Xbox. I got it on Nintendo. I got it everywhere. I was such a big fan of the Friday 13 game. Man, oh man. Whew. Miles, congrats on that job, man. I mean, hope you that's the best place to work, especially since you love the horror. Man, you can do so much cool stuff over there and bring such cool games, from horror franchises. I mean, seriously. That's
Miles,
just
tell Lefonic I need a Chud game.
A Chud, yeah, like Chud would be amazing. The one that I'm pushing for first and foremost is going to be a Return of the Living Dead game. But we'll
Yes.
see. I'll
Yes.
throw Chud on the chalkboard and see what.
Tell them I got a
what
great
people
idea, and
think.
they'll just laugh at me. They're like, "That's
There'll
some
be
bad advice."
at least 17 people who will want to buy a Chud game.
And you can add Crazy Louis an NPC. Yeah. Hell yeah. No, I'm just
Nah,
kidding.
you'll be NPC trash can number 1. But, all right.
Oh man.
Welcome
it's
back,
time-
Sour. So I guess where we're at next.
Where we at next, sir?
I mean, let's just jump for let's do the last topic, which was, what was the last topic? Hold on.
So if I'm looking at this right, I guess is the question that we kind of missed as we were kind of the big discussion in the gaming sphere has been sort of Spider-Man, right? And I guess I would ask here, I have played many games that sometimes have had, bugs. I think some things you just can't anticipate. And then there's a type of bugs that also can hurt progression. But I guess my question to the panel is, what's the level that you can accept to kind of overlook a bug where it either breaks the immersion or breaks the overall experience? And should there be, should reviews now include a section where it kind of provides its users on what a game may have to kind of let them know that what's the issue? Or is that something that I guess some people may say they don't experience it and it would be kind of hard to capture? I guess maybe I'm not phrasing it correctly, but I guess what I'm trying to say is how, we've seen games this year, sort of like Jedi Survivor, which was a phenomenal game. And when it came out, it seemed that many of the reviews didn't cover some of the things that were, I guess, hurting the experience for some users. And is that something that's fair? Because sometimes we see other games that we may like, kind of not get the pass, and people talk about the bugs that are in those games or things that may, you know, make the experience not overall great.
Can, can
And
I
should,
hop?
yeah, sure.
I was gonna say I was gonna hop in because I know where you're going to it because I've been one that has all sorts of crazy bugs that happened to me before. I always mention The Witcher, which one of the most painful bugs for me is when the game has a save issue, right? Especially with the auto save. I mean, you continue the progress, and it happened to me once with The Witcher. I had a manual save that was 40 hours behind, and it did an auto save, which really corrupted the whole game. So I had to go back 40 hours to play the game, and that was for me the most painful experience I had. Oh man, I would just every time I see CD Projekt Red release a game, I'm a bit scared. I'm
Now,
like,
was that something that was affecting only you, or affected maybe other people that
yeah,
you know?
it affected a couple people. I mean, they had to go back a couple hours back. They had luckily they had like a close manual save, but for me, manual save 40 hours behind in Witcher, that's a lot of hours. Left behind because we all know how Witcher is. In order to level up, it's a
Yep.
challenging thing. Same thing with Starfield. We see how challenging it is to level up. Imagine yourself that you're in the mission and the mission messes up and you lose. You got to go back to a manual save. You lose all those hours. I mean, you would be mad. And that's another thing that I have issues with games. Like if you're doing like a side mission or
Hmm.
any type of mission, you just can't progress because the NPC can't move or nothing. You just can't continue it. That really just irritates me a little bit. And Dark, they should reviews should have a section saying okay, this game has bugs, this has issues. They gotta have a section talking about okay, this game can have this problem. Like for example, shout out to Xbox Era because some of the reviews I've watched, like for example for Jedi Survivor, they did explain, oh, we're having performance issues in this area of Jedi Survivor, and I was like, man, that's awesome. They actually pointed that out because a lot of people just say, oh, it's fun. You jump around, you slice and dice, and you do all sorts of cool stuff, and that's it. But they don't talk about like the issue with bugs and that can happen in the game where it can mess up your experience.
I
I'm
mean, I guess I'll ask Miles, since I know you've reviewed games, and maybe you can kind of enlighten us in the process of how you kind of tackled some game reviews, and you know what has kind of deterred you in giving since a game a certain score, even though you may love it, but you have to kind of either dock it or point, or do you feel that's justified depending on the type of bug you run into?
Yeah, so I guess I'll jump up on my old soapbox for a little bit here as someone who used to review games and now works on video games and has some insights into both. I think some of the conversations about reviews in general and what should and shouldn't be there is kind of disingenuous. And I push back against this idea of just inherently objective reviews because inherently our opinions will always be biased in some way. So to ask someone to be completely unbiased, like if you like horror games, should you not review a horror game? Like you're biased because you like horror. So it gets complicated, it gets muddy. So I push back on that idea constantly because it's disingenuous to the experience. Me, when I look at a video game and when I'm talking about a video game and sharing my thoughts, it's how does this game make me feel? What are the things that I connect with? What are the things I don't connect with? And sometimes there will be situations where bugs are a bigger part of the conversation. If I'm playing a game and there are technical issues or performance issues that negatively impact my enjoyment or make me feel bad about playing the game, I will bring those up. I will bring those up in a review, absolutely. On the flip side of it, Elden Ring was a prime example. I did the review for Elden Ring for Windows Central. A lot of people said, "Oh, you can't give this game a 5 out of 5 because it drops 7 frames on Xbox Series X. Like it's 52 to 54 FPS in some spots." When I was playing the game, at no point in time did that make me say, "Oh, I don't like this game. This game feels bad to play." And so for me, that wasn't worth bringing up in the conversation because for me, it didn't negatively impact my enjoyment of a video
Let me
game.
ask you this: when and the example you just gave, is that more of somebody maybe looking for more a technical review versus your thoughts, or there's
Yeah,
actually
if
a
you want a
grasping point?
technical review, there's places like Digital Foundry that really get in and give you the A/B comparison of video games. But I think when you talk about thoughts and what's important to a reviewer, that's going to be different. That's going to be completely different for every single person. So I hate this idea of a universal metric for every single person who touches a video game, because I'm of the camp that video games are art, and I don't want any sort of objective standards to be placed on how we discuss art, because I think that is horribly boring. Like reviewing a video game should be completely different than reviewing a microwave, but some people want it to be that and have all these different distinctive categories. And again, if you want to review a game that way, that's fine. That's your right. But when it comes to bugs and how they're presented, I think it is important to talk about them in the sense that if it impacts how much you enjoy a game. But I think with Spider-Man 2 specifically and Starfield specifically, I was talking about Lords of the Fallen earlier. And there were people, myself included, talking about the performance problems and the bugs and bringing those to light and be like, man, this is kind of a bummer, because it is negatively impacting my enjoyment of a game. But Starfield and Spider-Man 2 are another level because of, in my opinion, exclusivity. In my opinion, because PlayStation is a platform holder and PlayStation has hardcore fans, and Xbox is a platform holder and has hardcore fans. Those games in particular, we see, oh, did Spider-Man 2 get a pass when Starfield didn't? 99% of that, in my opinion, is simply because they are exclusive games. And you have people who want to take a dig at another exclusive because that's not their preferred platform. So when I look at those conversations surrounding bugs, that bums me out, because then it's just amplified. All the small minor bugs are brought to light in a way to like downplay the work of hundreds of people. Hundreds of people worked on Spider-Man 2 and Starfield. And then you're going to have somebody on Twitter take a 10-second video of a bug and say this game is trash. And that's where I have a problem with the bug conversations.
I see.
Yeah, no, it's definitely. I mean, one of the games that comes to mind that I was seeing, like, again, I go back to Jedi Survivor, one of my highly anticipated games this year, and I know that playing it on the PC side, there were people reporting a lot of issues, but the crazy thing about it is that, again, did I encounter some problems? Sure, very different than others, and I guess for me, I was fortunate enough that my computer can brute force some of the things that were going. So, I always, working in technology, working in support for years, I'm never one to be like, well, I'm not having the same problem. Doesn't mean because I'm not having that other people aren't. But I felt that some of the key things that happened to me in that game was no different than what happened to me recently. I'll give an example. I was playing Control, and all of a sudden I was trying to get this this crate, and I literally get stuck between the crack in the wall and the crate, and I can't move. Same thing happened to me in Jedi Survivor. But of course, I'm not gonna go and all of a sudden screen cap this and be like, "Oh my God, look at this! This game is horrible."
Yeah.
And sort of what you said, erase the 30, 40 hours of an experience that I've had that's been amazing. Um, games like you were saying, hundreds of people make games. And just like when I used to work on the software side and we launched a new version of Windows or Office, it was like, okay, let me cross my fingers and see what's going to come in that I have to figure out, because with an environment, everything works. But when you give it out to the world, you have people speed running games, you have people breaking these open worlds just to kind of to see how much they can stretch the game to the limit. So of course you're going to do certain things, but I don't think it took away from the experience. Of anything, I was like, oh man, this is pretty cool that you can do some of these things.
Yeah, yeah. Let me put on my dev hat real quick, and just one more quick thing on the bugs issue. If you are concerned about a bug and you do want to see it fixed, and you are concerned about the genuine well-being of the video game, you should record some video or take a screenshot of that issue and file a ticket. All right, go on the Discord, go on the website, and file a ticket instead of going to Twitter and trying to dunk on people. All right, if you are genuinely concerned about getting that bug corrected, that's the best course of action, baby. Let's go. Submit a ticket.
You know what? I'm gonna up it even more. If you're on an Xbox Series console, you press that guide button and you hit the report a problem app,
Exactly.
and it'll
Boom.
capture. And you know what?
Best thing
That
to
is
do.
the fastest way to let people know, hey, I want to make sure that my experience continues to be better. Here's something I encountered.
That's what you got to do. I mean, I mentioned it earlier about Spider-Man. Like some people, like for example, they grabbed the bicycle, they were ramming in front of a car. They wanted like
You called Jim Ryan and you told him.
Peter Parker, like no, I'm
Or
just
Ted
saying.
Price?
They wanted Peter Parker like to fall off the bike or fly from the bike and stuff like that. Or the subway when they stick themselves over in front of the subway, somebody like runs them over inside the train. I'm like, what do you want it to be? You want it to be like really realistic? Like, okay, let's say you miss a web swing, what are you gonna do? That Spider-Man smash himself into a building, just like slide down and guts and everything. What? It's a superhero game. I mean, who the hell cares that a Spider-Man can get subway hits him, gets inside the subway? We don't care about that now. For example, the other bugs like the headless Miles Morales or the bodiless Miles Morales. That's just issues. That's stuff you got to grab them.
Those are the Halloween skins, man. That's the
Oh
Casper.
yeah,
the Casper.
the Casper version of Spider-Man. What Miles said, report it instead of going out on Twitter, showing it. But yeah, it's sad that game released with so many.
The best bug is the cube.
Oh, the cube.
Oh,
That's
was
Oh,
it
that's
invested?
that one just makes me laugh. That's just a wholesome weird bug.
I don't know. I'm gonna take it, and maybe Miles knows this game. There was a game on GameCube called Geist. I don't know if you remember. And
Oh,
Geist was a
God.
game where you played as a soldier who died, and then you possess people within that laboratory. So you can be anybody, and it was an FPS, and you would basically possess like rats or like a object, and you would literally go around haunting people in this facility. Look it up. It's called Geist. It was a really niche,
Geist.
yeah, it was a really niche. So when I saw that cube, I was like, "Oh wow, look, you can possess people." It's Spider-Man. That's awesome. Let me go possess a New York City rat.
Oh.
So, Plume, what are your thoughts on bugs in games? And kind of like have you had any bugs that sometimes have ruined your experience, or do you think sometimes people overblow? Did Plume just
Well,
leave?
you see,
Oh,
am I
there you go.
here?
I'm like, where did you go? Did you turn into a cube?
No, like I think in today's day and age, like we talked about this earlier on the show. Like when's the last game we've gotten that's released without some bugs in it, right? Like it's just the way that games are releasing. Essentially they're releasing to us, and there's day one patches, and there's patches throughout the entirety of their game. To me, it's the difference here is like which games release with bugs that are game breaking experiences that make you not enjoy the game. Those are the ones that are the significant issues. Like when we're looking at Spider-Man 2, I haven't played Spider-Man 2 yet. I'm going to jump into it. I played the first one and Miles, and I love them both. But it does not seem like these bugs in Spider-Man 2 are so widespread or they're so bad that they're actually hurting people's experiences. But obviously there are some interesting, funny bugs in there that people look at, post, and laugh about and stuff. So yeah, I mean, we're just in an era where games are bigger. They're costing more to make. There's so much stuff that goes into them now we rarely get games that have zero bugs. The one that I could think of top of my head is recently in this year, it was Hi-Fi Rush, where there was like no bugs at all in that game. That game was seemingly perfect, unless I missed something. But yeah,
Mario
unless
Wonder.
there's Sorry,
Mario Wonder,
Mario Wonder's
baby.
perfect, man.
Mario Wonder.
Yeah.
Sure,
Come on, don't
I
forget-
don't
don't forget
doubt
the goat.
Mario Wonder
forget the
is
goat.
perfect.
Doug Bow's about to come after you.
But it's, I don't know. And when it comes to reviews, it's like there are things that happen in games like the day zero patches or day one patches where there are bugs after the fact. Like even with Spider-Man 2, we saw ACG talking about that, where these bugs occurred after they did the day zero patch, after the reviews were out. And then there's stuff like what happened with Cyberpunk, where the game on the old gen consoles like literally didn't work, and they had to delist the games. But nobody was talking about this before they were released and before people had the game in their hands, and that type of stuff. It's just a weird time when it comes to these bugs. We just don't get like games without bugs anymore. It's just, well, unless they're breaking the game itself, I don't think just think there should be kind of expected at this point, which is kind of hard, kind of crappy to think about. But
when you look at certain games, right, and especially multi-plat games, you have to basically ship on so many different configurations. You have Xbox, right? You have PlayStation, but then think on the PC. You have PC handhelds. You have all these different profiles, and it's impossible. I mean, if people remember back in the day, I think it was Metroid Other M had a glitch that you had to send your memory card to Nintendo. I think it was to get it fixed. So you had to either, and this was when there was no guides. So if you were someone who had internet access at the time and went into like chat rooms and met that one person that knew this, there was ways to avoid the bug. But at any point, if you owned Other M, there was no way of patching that. There's a lot of examples of games that had issues that were never patched. Look at Ninja Turtles. I'm pretty sure that game being so difficult could have had some type of balancing that they could have done with patching. So at the end of the day, as people who love playing video games, ask developers to give us these incredible immersive worlds, it's impossible to have I would say a game that you're not going to run into something that later on may need either an update to fix certain things down the road. Because again, once you set out into the wild, right? Maybe your console's broken, you don't know, and that's triggering whatever you think, and you think it's the game, but it's not. It's actually your console or your PC. You have to update your word processing, and it's like getting in the way.
I remember when I had the issue with Witcher, and I actually went to CD Projekt Red.
Oh, I thought you said you went to CD Projekt Red. You're like, hey, I'm Pedro here.
Open the door.
Open the door. I'm here. No. I went to the website, and I literally wrote to them. I was like, I wrote to them throughout the whole week. And
Who did you write to exactly? Like,
it was on they had like a posting where you post,
Hieroglyphics.
where you post the
like
issue.
a job or something.
They had like a chat thing, right? You wrote down the issues.
Yeah, I'm just messing with you, Lou.
Oh, okay. And they respond to you, right? You know what those? I'm gonna say it this way. Do you know what those bastards said to me? Oh, why don't you go back to a manual save and then you start? If you have this issue with this mission, just go back to a manual save. I'm like, dude, it's 40 hours behind, so just play through it. I'm like, what?
But don't you do multiple saves, Lou, when you play?
Now I do it. Of course, now I do it. Now I'm scared. I'm more scared than ever because.
Dude, you're telling me when you play games, you don't make an extra save in case something catastrophic would happen?
That never happened to me before until Witcher. Never happened to me before until Witcher. When I saw that, I was like, "Oh my god!" And like I said, I wrote to them, and that was the response. I was like, "That's all you're gonna say? Yeah? Aren't you guys gonna fix it?" No. I'm like, "What? Just go back. No worries. Just go back and play through them." I was like, "Dude, I'm 40 hours behind." So what would happen if I had to restart the game? I would have been like, "Damn, at least give me a refund or something." No, they just don't care. Like, just go back like it's nothing.
I mean, some issues can happen. It's like data, right? I used to work with data, and similar to your example, when a computer broke, people would tell me, "What do you mean I can't get my data?" I said, "Have you backed up your data? Why? I spent $1,700 on this computer. It shouldn't be breaking." But you do back up your data, right? And it was like, it never occurred to me. So, sometimes human error, right?
Thank God for cloud.
We've all had that one incident in our lives gaming where we lose a save or a save gets corrupted, and now we're just paranoid forever. Like, we have 20 different saves in Skyrim just in case.
Oh my God. I think in Cyberpunk I have it's ridiculous. Sometimes I have to look at the one I'm hitting load because I'm saving, I'm manual saving, auto saving, all that stuff.
I'm one of those spazzes that'll hit the save button 5 times, even though I know for sure it's saved. I'll hit it 4 more times just to make sure. Oh, did it save?
See, I can't do that in Resident Evil because in Resident Evil that counts against you.
Oh, that's true. That does. I'll have 99 saves at the end of my Resident Evil run.
Yeah, because you're like, no, I need to get this good ending. So.
Oh my God. That reminds me back in the day with Metal Gear when I first bought Metal Gear, my PlayStation, both memory slots were bad. I mean, it didn't work, and I had to grab what's the PC power supply, plug it in because in Dominican there's always a power outage. And I remember sitting through that for 15 hours. I beat Metal Gear. I never saved in that game. That was just awesome. Crazy stuff back in the day. Crazy stuff. Sour. Anything else before we land this plane?
No, not really. Look who popped in. Say hi.
Hi. What's up, little one?
Did we do the poll of the week?
Oh, you want us
Oh,
to do the
yeah.
poll of the week? Let's bring the poll of the week real quick. Let's pull it up.
Doesn't have it ready, like always. He never has it ready.
Man, Sour.
You never do, Lou. I've watched every episode and you never have it.
Yeah, I have always had it ready. And here
Like
it
once.
is.
I think
You want me
once.
to get the receipts? Come on, don't
All
stop.
right, here we go. So for the poll of the week is best game from Ilphonic. Is it what is it? Arcageddon, Predator Hunting Grounds, Ghostbusters, Spirits Unleashed, or Friday the 13th? And Sourblow added the Killer Clown. But what you add Killer Clown was not released yet. But either way, though. So guys, chat. Which is the best game from Ilphonic? Is it Predator Hunting Grounds, Ghostbusters Spirits Unleashed, Arcageddon, or Friday the 13th? And the winner is, can you give me a drum roll, Sourblow? No, he can't because he's got a kid.
Yeah.
It's Friday the 13th with a 68%. Second place, Ghostbusters The Spirits Unleashed. Third place, Predator Hunting Grounds with a 5%. And Arcageddon got a 0%. Guess nobody played that game.
Lou, how is gonna have Killer Clown if it hasn't released yet?
You put it in the hashtag, though. Just hashtag Kid Clown.
Of course, hashtag.
Oh,
You
okay.
put a hashtag. Don't worry, Lou. We're getting there. We'll
Yeah.
work on the reading comprehension next week.
Okay, no problem. But anyways, guys, it was such an awesome show. Miles, thank you so much for joining us on this awesome episode, man. Really happy to have you back on here. It was loads of fun. And Miles, please tell everybody where they can find you, sir.
Yeah, absolutely. Appreciate you guys having me back on. Like I said earlier, this is my first podcast appearance in a little while. So it's fun getting out there, hanging out with the community. Saw some great familiar faces in the chat. But yeah, I mean, if you want to just follow what I'm doing these days, you can follow me on social media, just at Miles Dompier, pretty much anywhere you want to be at this point, YouTube as well. And then if you want to keep up to date with what we're working on over at Ilphonic, you can follow us at Ilphonic at any social media handle, as well as Ghostbuster Spirits Unleashed, Arcadegeddon, oh god, what else? Killer Clowns. Those are the main ones right now.
Oh man, they're shutting down Friday the 13th. I'm so depressed. But either way, Miles, again, thank you so much for joining us, man. It was a lot of fun hanging out with you, brother. Thank you. Big Plume, the baseball man, the man who has been moving just like me and having all the chaos in the
But
world.
at least Plume actually is moving and doing work.
You
Look at my background, Louis.
Yeah,
Look
we
at
see
your
the
background.
progress.
No.
Look, your background looks like a jail cell.
Hey, Beep, dude, I'm trying to fix this room up, but it just keeps
Bro,
getting
It's
messier.
been August. We met in August and you still haven't fixed that room.
Hey, wait a minute. It's painted though. It's painted.
What does
Wow.
that mean? Okay, it's painted.
It's painted. I also got a smart setup right here, but I'll finish up. Trust me. I think next week will be the day it's gonna be finished.
Yeah,
Please,
you probably
Lord.
have those nasty cords that are driving me nuts in the back.
One epi cords. What? Those cords right there?
Yeah,
That's for the home theater. I try to hammer these things on there, and the wall's too hard to be hammered too. So I gotta grab a drill. And Plume told me to show it on stream, so it'll be Louis drilling on stream.
Oh my god, I'm gonna call the ambulance because you're probably gonna drill through your hand.
I would never do that. So Big Plume, please tell everybody where they can find you, sir.
Yeah, no, great show, guys. Thanks for stopping by, Miles. You guys can find me on Plume Network on YouTube and on X. And yeah, that's it.
All right. Sourblow, the Lionel Richie wannabe with it. Damn Celtics hat. Please tell everybody where they can find you, sir.
You can find me Twitter, Xbox Sourblow18. Here, of course, every Wednesday, but also sometimes Friday with Eternal Shaddai and ASCAP Gaming and Xbox International en Español. So if you speak Spanish, you have a friend there, send them over that way. And that's it. Sorry, I gotta watch my son. He's running around here touching stuff.
Remember, don't let him be Lou. Because if you let him touch stuff, don't let him
No,
be
no
Lou.
no one is Lou. Don't worry about that.
Oh, thank God. But anyways,
Lou is
where,
unique.
Where can you find the crazy one? Nice and simple. But before I say so, I want to say, chat. You guys are awesome. You guys kept it rocking and rolling. I love you all to death, like always. Man, you guys always rock. And where can you find the crazy one? In Twitter, Crazy Louis Gaming, where I do good morning videos and do all sorts of crazy stuff.
Shower videos.
Yes, my shower videos. I love. You know, people miss that shower videos because they get mentioned a lot. I gotta do more.
No one
Yeah.
missed that.
They are great, man. I mean, everybody talks about my shower videos. I don't know why.
Is that like on Tinder or something?
Save that for your OnlyFans. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Shower with Louis. Shower with Louis.
Louis,
Yeah.
do my OnlyFans?
Yeah.
But I make money on OnlyFans? Nah, I think not. I'll probably get kicked out. But anyways, as we find the Chris on Twitter, and also you can find them on Mondays at the Xbox Lunch Break Special over the Double Barrel Gaming YouTube channel at noon. And last but not least, the Xbox International Podcast every Wednesday, hanging out with these awesome, handsome fellas at 7 p.m. ET. And like I always say, hit
Hello.
that like what?
Well, you forgot to ask me.
Yeah. What about Dark?
Oh my god, I forgot about Dark. Tell everybody the game.
Jail.
Put him in jail. You know what? Put him in jail. Put him in jail while I say this.
Oh my god, sorry about that.
Jail
Sorry
time.
about that. Please tell everybody
But
where
you
they can find you,
know,
sir. Oh my god, Dark, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Like Miles, has been a while being on here, and thank you for inviting me. You know, a little rusty as well, and you know, I didn't read the topics, but at least I had a clue because you know I can read unlike Lou. Miles, it's great to finally be on the show and podcast with you. Especially, you know, definitely miss Chatterdays and being in the chat there. You know, sending you all the slander when it comes to you know. Excuse me, Phantom Dust, which I think I have it next to me right here. There's an urn. I labeled it Phantom Dust, just for you.
I appreciate that. Thank you. It feels really good.
I'll put a 2 so you can see that's the sequel. But like I always say, you know, if you want to find me, you can find me on X or Twitter, however you want to call it. big_N_boss. You can just, you know, send me a message, DM me. I'm always there. I know Jay Vargas, you know, the Nets suck. Just want to put that out there real quick. And I know right now the Celtics are playing the Knicks, but I'm not going to say anything. I'll let the results then, and then I'll troll if I need to troll. Sourblow.
So you're just waiting to see if you win.
Well, you know, I don't like, you know, I like the anticipation. Just like I know today Silent didn't want to come on because he knew I was coming on here, and you know, he likes to talk all that smack. But like I said, I'm gonna have my revenge when Code Veronica comes out. I'm gonna have revenge on all of you.
Yep.
I'm gonna send Miles a copy. I'm gonna send Silent a copy.
Don't worry, you just gotta wait for them to do Resident Evil 5 and then 6.
No,
and
I'm
then
gonna be
maybe
Gabe Newell and just deliver it to you guys. They'll deliver it to you with a smile and just take a picture. Nobody wants Resident Evil 6. Come on, Miles. That's the worst Resident. Like, that is the worst Resident. No, 0 and 6 are the worst Resident Evils.
I would bet money that they remake 6 before they remake Code Veronica.
Ooh.
Here's what's gonna happen, right?
I'll bet you
Here's
a large
See,
Papa
time you
John's
come back,
pizza.
and he's like, you know what?
Oh.
I'm gonna tackle the GOAT, the best Resident Evil game. And he's gonna come in and he's gonna make this game before he rides into the sunset. He's gonna come out.
No, that can't be the last game he does. He can't go out like that.
And
he
when it
can't
comes
go
out,
like that.
and it's a 96 on Metacritic. Oh man.
Oh. I mean, a Code Veronica remake could work if they just throw away every single line of dialogue.
It is the highest rated Resident Evil, even than 4.
That's true.
They were dark times. The bar was not high. The bar was not high. Okay.
It's not the Dreamcast. It was the first time you had a 3D Resident Evil, like a true 3D Resident Evil.
Wait, weren't they 3D before? Hey, Dark, don't be saying that because
I'm talking about true. Like everything was rendered in 3D.
Don't be saying that because now you're going to confuse my brain. You know how my brain works.
Dude, it's not even easy confusing your brain. I just confused you right now. You didn't even know you're in jail. All right. Well, anyway, let's land this plane.
Let's land this plane.
Get him out of his prison.
All right. Like I always say, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and also hit that bell so it can tell you when XBI content comes on. And remember, let's go, let's rock, and no
Let's
more
go to jail.
Well, you kill my mojo like that, man. You gotta kill my mojo like that. Land this place, Tyler. Let's go.
Say bye-bye. You know, bye-bye.
There you go. There we go. That's a better outro. There we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've arrived at our destination. For your safety and comfort, please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the captain turns off this live stream. On behalf of Xbox International, I'd like to thank you for joining us on this trip, and we're looking forward to seeing you aboard next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.